You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Pop 'em if you got 'em.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
And we are the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about
How we game.
It's Thursday night, live phone call night, where it's all about how you game, with the exception of the first half hour or so, where we we prime the pump.
Sure.
We talk about different topics. This week's topic is going to be our episode for updating 2025 March top 20 list. So we're going to be updating our top 20. That's going to be the games that we played in the month of March.
Yep.
March. Yeah.
That we've played on this board behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne's got his digital version. We'll update that tonight. We'll talk about our twig, our This Week in Gaming. We might have some news. I don't have any news to bring. And then we'll get into some OGG, some...
I don't know, maybe 65% tariffs.
There's one big, huge topic I know Wayne wants to talk about. But
Not really, but no, I don't want to talk about it.
We could see Wayne and I could probably go on for a while with that one.
probably.
We could have some fun with that. And then there's the OGG, the other geeky goodness, is what we'll wrap it up with. Please don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe on the YouTubes or the Rumbles or the Twitches, however you're choosing to watch. Check out our Discord. And then comment below. Let us know how our audio levels are. We had some trouble last week with getting the audio levels level.
Yeah.
So we spent 5 minutes just now trying to get it set.
Yeah, after we were all done, we went back and listened to the show, and we realized there were some pretty wild differences. So it sounded good in our headphones, but it didn't transmit well.
Yeah, it always does sound good in the headphones, right? But then I think my audio was higher than yours, and then at some points Mike was even higher than mine, and so there was definitely some differences there, at least that we could hear. Like, what's interesting is like sometimes like I listened to this show without headsets, and I couldn't necessarily hear it, but then when I put a headset on, I could hear it more. But anyway,
yes, when it's on my cell phone and I'm kind of watching it there, very different than if we put on some headsets.
Yeah. And no Mike or Dan this week, so it's just going to be, I think, just the two sides here. So hopefully not as many levels to mess with. But if one of us is off, let us know. We'll mess with our audio a little bit.
Yeah. More than likely to be me being too loud, but that's the New Yorker in me, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wayne is loud, he's rowdy.
That's more of a feature, not a bug.
Exactly. It's a thing.
It's a picnic issue is what we call it at work. It's a problem in chair, not in computer.
Yes. Problem between keyboard and chair.
Yeah.
Well, folks, welcome to Thursday night board game night. I've had some games played, and March was probably not my heaviest month of games.
It was a little lean for you, huh?
But there were some good games in there.
That's
so for that reason, you see me with a new roll of magnetic tape.
Oh yeah,
cutting out new strips.
Cutting long strips.
Because I believe Robert, you had a heavy month of games
I
as
did.
well.
I think Rob and I had 2 different game days together, and then I know that you had other game days of your own, plus had some of mine of my own too. It was a good month. March was.
It was a good
picking
month.
up. March was a good month. What I feel like, and I don't know about you guys, it feels like start of the year, January, February, it kind of slow, and then March, April, May, June, July picks up.
I'm hoping.
July's probably my biggest month of the year because of Dice Tower East.
Dice
obviously.
Tower. Yeah, that's gonna be big. Yep.
And then towards the end of the year, it's like the year is basically just a crescendo, and then it's a bell curve, really. Like my gaming goes up during the year, and then somewhere about mid. Once August, September starts, school starts again, and soccer starts again. My gaming kind of tapers off a bit. So, yeah, we're getting into, I think, the months of more gaming. 'Cause I already have several game days this month planned, which is good. So,
good deal. Yeah, I just was looking here at the stats. I got 18 different games played, so I'm sure that's not impressive to some people, but for 18 in a month, that's pretty good for me. It's one about every other day. So
listen, we are dads, we are employees, we're husbands.
Yeah.
So getting that many different games played,
and I think it's hard. Yeah, and it's not like we don't do this professionally, right?
Correct.
This is fun for us.
Just
so
for fun.
It's like there are other podcasts that talk about I was listening to a podcast today, and they had a guest on, and she's like, I play 50 new games a month. And I'm like,
nope.
That means you play games professionally.
Yeah, that's all you're doing is playing games.
That's all you're doing is playing games.
Yep.
That's not me. Yeah. So, yeah.
No.
Between ROTC, between band, between soccer, right? All the different things our kids are doing. Getting gaming in is not the main priority, but it is definitely priority enough that we want to share that love with you all. So what
Make
we're
sure
gonna
about
do is allow Wayne
He's gonna lead us
to
off.
share
lead
his
off.
love first,
His March love.
while Robert and I prepare our list
Yeah.
and these magnetic strips that I'm cutting here.
We'll talk more about it later, but we were a little sidetracked with a little game of our own tonight. We'll talk about.
Oh, there you go.
We got in some games of the Fellowship of the Ring there.
Oh, that was a
Very
good
cool.
time.
Yeah.
So just some basic stats here. There are 6 games from my last month list that have now fallen off. There's a 7th game that I ranked and then it came back off. So you'll see that when it gets to it. And that was
Yeah,
really
because you're
just
thinking about it in order of playing.
yeah, like
You touch the board.
Yeah, like I basically take the games I played this during the month, and I highlight, like they're in order of game played, and I highlight that's got to go on my list, that's go on my list, and then I go through and rank them, and then they may fall off. So I had 6 fall off, 1 that came on and came back off. I played 2 of my Hall of Fame games, so I'll mention those real quick when I get to that, and then I had 3 games that I kind of had played and removed on my list. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new games on my list this month. So yeah, it was a big month. Yeah, a lot of games that ended up hitting my list. So, so I guess let me share my screen. I gotta get fancier with mine, just not do the Excel thing, but
Good old Excel. It's reliable.
yeah,
We're gonna install a metal board at your house.
Yeah, we'll come over.
I could get one. Yeah,
We'll just go hammer one against his wall. Put it.
His
put a
wife
hole
will
in
be like, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
yeah.
Cake board. On
Yeah.
the wall.
Puerto Rican man arrested.
So the first one that's going to come up here, I'm going the wrong way. Am I going the wrong way? Not going the wrong way. Hold on. There we go. So the first one, Core, Rise of an Empire, was a game I played this month. It made my board and then eventually got knocked off. Rob,
really?
Yeah.
I bought it because of what y'all said. You should have told me this.
It's got to stay on my board, so that's okay.
It's a game that I need to play again. Right. So I think why it fell off my list was I really liked the game. I did. I really loved it. I loved the production value. It's a game I want to play again. And so that's why I think it's warranting another play to get back on my list. I wasn't the first gameplay. The thing I didn't like was the factions. I thought that, and this is just purely on one gameplay, I wondered if some of the factions were either underpowered, overpowered, and it either that or the way I played it, I didn't play enough to my faction, and that you really need to play to your faction's strengths or weaknesses. And so that's why it made my list, because I really enjoyed the play of it. I really did like all the things Rob has talked about in his This Week in Game previous about the game. I really agree with. It's a game that is right on that, in that cusp, and could potentially move up. I think it does warrant a couple of plays to learn the factions. And I do think you probably need to play to your faction more. Or
That's what I think.
Sorry.
I played it twice, and neither time I've leaned into my faction, and I've not done great either time. But I feel like that's been my mistake. I gotta you get your faction. You got to tailor your game to that faction. So,
and it didn't seem like the faction I got, I forget which one I had now. It didn't seem like their abilities, like you could power up your faction. It didn't seem like the abilities were very powerful compared to Daryl, whose faction he crushed us. Like he was like triple our score. Yeah. So that
not because of his faction, but because of how he used his faction.
I think so. Well, yeah, and he it was like he's played the game a few times before, but I think he knew what he was doing a bit, and he really synergized his actions, his faction, and he had this like money seemed the hardest thing to generate in the game, right? It was very tight money wise, and he was just like, I'd be like Rob, myself, and Michelle would be like, "Oh, wait, I get 3 or 4 or 5 coin," and Daryl's like, "I get 15." Like, like,
yeah.
So good game, great game. I want to play it again. It made my list, and then kind of got bumped off by some other games. So close to hitting that. Yep. Buddy Kingdom fell off my list. Just need to play it again. I love this game. It's fun. Game. Really good game. And it's like all these games were on my list that so they're all good. So Planet Unknown is another one that I've enjoyed. I love that the polyomino and then tracks. So it's it's kind of like, to me, Great Split, where you're working up the tracks, but then you have like the Barren Park Great Split combo in space. It's kind of the best way I can explain it. So I enjoy it. It's fun. I like those kind of puzzles. Ultimate Railroads fell off my list. I think I just prefer base Russian railroads. So if I played that again, Russian railroads would make my list. But I don't know if I need all the extra stuff. I think Russian railroads is fine the way it is. Right.
I'm playing the Japanese one for the first time, and it's way different. But I'm
Is it?
liking it. But
You liking it?
way
Yeah.
different.
It's just there's already so much going on in Russian railroads. Where like to then play Ultimate Railroads, where you have like 5 or 6 different combinations of countries and all the rules. It's like that. It's too much.
Yeah.
I could just play Russian and be good. Chocolate Factory fell off, which is sad because I really do love this game. I think we've championed this game a bunch, or at least I know I have in the show. This is a game that I think because it came out during the pandemic has been woefully underrated, and I think if it came back out again or hit the zeitgeist in some way, it would people would enjoy it because it's a really fun game. Flashpoint Fire Rescue fell off just because I haven't played it. And it's a great game. It's cooperative. I have the Legacy, so hopefully, if Carlos is down to try the Legacy with Rob and I, then
that's gonna add a question to the administrative side of the top 20 board.
Oh yeah,
right.
When you play the Legacy game,
right?
Can you call it Flashpoint Fire Rescue and bring it back on the board as that?
Like, I probably would
interchange
just be
the two
Fire.
titles as one.
Well, you'll see because I've kind of done that with Maracaibo and Pirates of Maracaibo. Or
all right, we'll see what the precedence shows.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to at some point in the next month or two getting started with the Legacy version. So, Harmonies fell off my list, and I don't see this coming back on my list. I'm kind of feel like I'm done with it. It's a fun game.
Oh wow, there's so much hype on that one.
I know, but it's kind of it gets stale after a while.
Yeah, it's kind of an abstract. Yeah, I like it, but it's
and there's a lot of luck I think in it too, like because you're creating these little areas. You're trying to create these areas for the animals, right? And you can draw a couple of point cards, and then
man, I love Cascadia. What game are you talking about?
Harmonies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think Harmonies. There's a bit of luck to it as far as does the right tiles come around to you, and if you need water or you need mountain spaces and everyone's drawing and you're not drawing what you need, then you're kind of screwed in that game. But it's a fun game, don't get me wrong, it's fun. But so far of all the games that fell off, all of them I feel like if I played them again, they'd probably get re-ranked or could potentially get re-ranked. Harmonies is the first one where I think I'm like, I'll play it, but it's probably not getting back on my top 20. So those are the ones that fell off my list this month, and then the two games
we call these the losers. Don't ever play these games again.
Crap. Crap again. Yeah, 2 out of 10. My two Hall of Fame games I did play this month: Castles of Burgundy, my number one all-time favorite game, and then Lost River Varnak. I played that, and I played the campaign. I played a couple of sessions of the campaign, which I'm enjoying a lot. Yep. So that's that, and now we get into I think my top 20. So number 20 is Rebirth. Is Renner Knizia game. So I like right. It's Knizia, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I like it. It's really good. It to me, and I did say this in the Discord. It's to me, this is a better version of Kingdom Builder. So you have the map of either Scotland or Ireland, dual-sided board, and you're drawing chips out of your bag, and there's energy. You're basically redeveloping the world after like a post-apocalyptic type thing, or whatever. And you're drawing either energy or food or population tokens, and then you're filling in cities, and you're trying to control the cities or control the monasteries, and you're basically trying to put your cities on the board, and anytime you go to a monastery, you draw like a victory point card, and it's all kind of area control, and you're going around and you're placing chips, and you're scoring victory points based on how many of the same type are in the zone or in an area. And at the end of the game, you'll score victory points based upon if you have the majority around a castle, you'll score 5 victory points for that. And if you have any victory point cards, you might have one that you have the most chips around this monastery or that monastery, and you're scoring points. So it's kind of like you score a bunch of points during the game, and then at the end of the game, there's just a ton of scoring. It was very fast. We played it 4-player. 2 of us had never played it before, and we played it in an hour.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful length. Yeah. Quick. There's obviously some luck. You're drawing your chips out of a bag, so you may not draw the chip. Like I really need a population one because I need to control that city, and then you go 3-4 turns without pulling, right? So an easy solution could be to home rule and say the Carcassonne rule, where you start with 1 chip, or draw 1 and then draw another one, so you have 2 to choose from. that type thing. But I didn't really mind it because it's an hour, right? It was a really quick game, very simple, very good production value. We played like their deluxe version, I guess, and it wasn't.
Yeah, but even
deluxe.
the base version looks good.
Yeah, it does. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I would love to play it again. There's 2 maps, so there's a map of Scotland, map of Ireland, and
I want to try the Ireland.
Yeah, I try the Ireland. So I enjoyed it. Hit my list. It was a little higher. Got bumped down by some other games, but it could easily move up if I play it again. I own Kingdom Builder and I own everything for Kingdom Builder, and I have been thinking for a while, like, I just don't play it enough. It was getting ready to go on my sale pile, and after playing this, I'm like, yep, I'm definitely going to get rid of my Kingdom Builder and all expansions this year, and maybe pick up this because I think this is a better version to me than Kingdom Builder. So, Rebirth is my number 20.
Nice.
There we go. My number 19 is Holotype. So 2 games I played this like the last weekend in March.
Hey, I didn't get to talk to you after your Holotype play, so I'm interested to hear.
This was good. This was fun. This was a worker placement game, and it's a dinosaur game, but it's a dinosaur game where you're not trying to recreate Jurassic Park the movie.
Okay.
So not Dinogenics? Is that
not
the one?
Dinogenics, not Dinosaur Island? No, this is, and I think, and I need to probably do better research, but this game was developed by people that are like paleontologists, right? They know the business. So you have a player board. It's worker placement. Rob probably won't like it because it's kind of friendly worker placement. You can't block spots really.
No,
although a little bit though.
A little bit.
You have 2 workers to start the game with. You have your paleontologist and kind of like a research assistant, right? And then after a certain period of time, you can unlock a graduate assistant. So you can have up to 3 workers. Yeah. Phantom Memer here said that, well, I introduced you to 2 new games and they both made top spots. Yes, they did.
Nice.
So I guess that's Pat there. Thank you.
Must be Pat. Yeah.
He had commented a little earlier, said, glad you liked Rebirth.
There you go.
Yeah, I really liked Rebirth. Yeah. And I think I like Holotype probably more because it was just that Euro worker placement game. And so you're placing your workers out there, and you can go to like the library, and you can go to like the dig site, and you can go to the thing, and you're collecting the cards of the dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs, you need certain bones to kind of research and discover those dinosaurs. So you're kind of, and then as you play those, you score victory points. You kind of have like an end game bonus card that gives you bonuses. You score the points from the dinosaurs. So it's very simple, straightforward worker placement game. The good thing about it, it's just the theme is cool because it's truly a paleontology dinosaur themed game. That's not where you're just trying to like prevent people from getting eaten and, making a dinosaur theme park out of it. So, Rob, I think you would like it though, because when you place the worker, there's like a pecking order, right? So if I place my archaeologist in a site, the only person that can bump that is another archaeologist. Okay. And so you have the archaeologist, the grad assistant, and like the research assistant. So like when you put the research assistant out there, he gets bumped out by anybody. But when you have the archaeologist out there, he may not get bumped easily. So if you have all 3 of your workers out there, no one's bumping them back, then you have to take an action to return your workers and get things. So it was good. There was some good synergies there. And what I liked is there's these global type achievements where Jurassic period, the various periods of dinosaurs, the various types of dinosaurs, as they get researched, it may require 6 of this type or 6 Jurassic dinosaurs. And once the 6 are down, someone could claim that as a bonus victory point, and you have like 5 of them on your player board, where as you claim them, you can get 3, 6, 9, 12, 25 victory point type thing. So multiplier, fun worker placement game, straightforward. I enjoyed the game pretty, and I would want to play it again. And it's scalable, right? Because the main board, you have a 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, 5-player game, and then there's a European expansion which brings in a bunch of other stuff. So there's a good diversity of gameplay there. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. That's why they both hit I would love to play them again to see if they would move up or go down, but I kind of like them both about the same. So they kind of just hit. I think I liked Rebirth a lot. I think Holotype just kind of edged out a little bit, just because it was the first time I played a worker placement game with dinosaurs where we weren't trying to eat people.
Yeah.
So it was good. It's more like research, more like you're a paleontologist working for like the New York Museum, and you're trying to recreate the dinosaurs, and you're digging out the bones, and you're discovering them and stuff. So it's kind of cool. So
cool.
Yep. Going a little slow here. I'm trying to. All right. So my number 18 has been on my list for a while. Clans of Caledonia. Played it, I think, back in January now, so I just probably need to play it again. I love Clans of Caledonia. I think it is a very tight, very tough game. It's kind of like brassish, and like you can't. The economy is very tight. You're always wanting like an extra dollar here, an extra dollar there, and it's coming out with an expansion and big box this year, so it's kind of cool. So I'm glad that Clans of Caledonia is one of those games that's in the top 100 BGG that really only had that one main Kickstarter print run, and has kind of never really been for wide sale distribution. So it's good that it's coming back out this year.
Okay.
My number 17, the Stouffer Dynasty. Talk about this game. This was a Z-Man game that I played a while back. We talked about it a couple shows back. It's a fun game. I don't know if it's really in print, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it was fun. Good worker placement Euro game where you're basically going around the empire with the king, and you're trying to gain his favor in different cities and get ahead of him to get to the city that he's going to be at, so you can claim favor with him in that city when he gets there. So it's a good one. My number 16 was Distilled. That kind of moved up a little bit. Been playing it a bit more. Really enjoying it. Kind of figuring out a little bit. I still think that the reason why this game is not going like high on my list is really distilling with wheat and like grains and like aging them really is a better way to win the game. And like the fruit distilling can be pretty pricey, and it's hard to distill and aged fruit stuff because it's hard to get them, the cognacs and those kind of things. So I generally play this game, and I do tend to fall into the same strategy. If I get two distill heads or distillery leads to choose from, I'll choose the one that wants to age a wheated or a grain spirit, and I'll go that route. And so it has gotten a bit samey in its gameplay. I do need to get the cask strength expansion to see if that changes it a bit for me, but I still am really enjoying Distilled. I know that it wasn't hit with Carlos and back in the day.
I didn't love it. It was okay. Yeah. I think we were both
the theme. I love the theme, and I love the idea.
Yeah.
Is just a little bit of execution changes, and it would be on my top like 100.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's up there. So Distilled, Captain Flip, still on the list. Fun, quick game. Enjoying it.
Okay, you can stay on the show.
Captain Flip.
You're allowed to stay on the show now.
I'm allowed to stay on the Captain Flip still there.
Put in your top 20.
Yep. Flip 7 still up there. I played it, didn't move it. It's just such a fun game. We actually taught it. Rob and I taught it to Pat and his wife at the game day last one day. They were like, "Oh, this is good." Our game group would like it, or non-gamers would like it. It's really just the perfect entry level game.
Yeah.
After seeing the promo copy that they've given away, like the 3,500 copies of the promo one, I'm like, that's the version I want.
Yeah.
It's in a single box,
and
it's the same size. It's not the cheap smaller cards that are double stick, but Flip 7.
You saw earlier in the chat, Pat said that they went out and bought it right after they played it with us, and then they took it to game day, and it was a hit. Everybody was playing it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love Captain. Love Captain Flip 7. Great, fun, light games that are fun. Yeah, so Flip 7, number 14. And my number 13, Dinogenics, dinosaur theme. I tend to like it. It hit my 13. I'm figuring out how to play it better. It's definitely a little bit meatier. So I'm enjoying the plays of that. Don't know longevity wise. Like here's the thing is I own Dinosaur Island. I enjoy Dinosaur Island. Which of these two would I pick up? And if I pick up one of these two, do I get rid of Dinosaur Island? And I even have the expansion, the liquid, Dinosaur Island liquid, whatever, that I haven't never even played, that I would like to give that a shot first too. So I don't know. It's interesting. Is like, do I like Dinogenics more than Dinosaur Island? How much better is the gameplay? It's a slightly better gameplay, I think, in Dinogenics and Dinosaur Island, but they're both kind of fun. So anyway, Dinogenics. It's a fun game. Fun one. Number 12, Federation. I love it. This is you're the Galactic Empire and the Senate, and you're passing the legislation, right? And it's fun. We've played it. It's a great game. It's fun. It was interesting, as I think the first time I played it was at Dice Tower East 2 years ago, and I liked it. It was like, okay, this is okay, but we clearly played things wrong. And the person that was teaching, it was in the hot games table, and the person that was clearly teaching it definitely missed a couple of points that was like, oh, that's why. So as I've played it more, and I've had to like, you ever play a game wrong or get taught a game wrong, and then it's hard to forget that bad teach, right? So I've as I've played Federation more, I'm slowly unlearning the bad play that I had that first time, and I'm starting to get it now, and I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it more and more as I play it, and sort of figuring it out. But it's fun.
After Clank last night, for whatever reason, Federation came up. Sam was talking about how much she's liking it the more she plays it. And somehow, I don't know, in my head, when she said Federation, my mind went to Star Trek. And then I thought Star Trek Ascendancy. And I was like, I hate that game. I was like, I played that twice. I don't like it at all. She's like, really? And then so we started talking about it. I was like, hold on. I'm talking about a completely different game than you are. So I jumped on it. I was like, oh, no, Star Trek Ascendancy. No, Federation I like a lot. Federation's good. So,
yeah, Federation's good. Yep.
Yeah,
so I'm at number 12.
Yeah.
My number 11, Terraforming Mars. Hit the list, right, guys? Yeah, I know this is like really high on your guys' list. It's not super
I'm a little
high.
disappointed that it's 11, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it's
just long for me. That's the problem. And here's the thing. That's the fundamental difference. You guys want to play Terraforming Mars and you want to play for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play Terraforming Mars and be done in an hour and a half.
Nope. Doing it wrong.
The drafting still like that is what I love about the game.
I enjoy Terraforming Mars. It's a fun game. It's in my top 20. It's just on the precipice of the top 10. We still need to actually play it together. I am willing to play with you.
Wait, we've
guys.
never played with Wayne?
I guess
no,
not.
You've never
Apparently
played with
not.
me.
Yeah,
no, we have not played it.
But yeah, no way. Okay. We need to do it. Yeah, without all the expansions, Jim. Don't even start. He just put something in there, but
no, he's making fun of me. He said my perfect game is Dino Flip in Space.
Oh, there you go.
I guess.
I'll play Terraforming Mars with a couple of expansions, but yeah,
Prelude and Terraforming
for sure.
Mars. That's it.
Yeah,
right?
okay, that's fine with me. Yep.
Yeah, so
it's good.
I'll give it that a shot. Yeah, so I would be willing to try it with you guys just to see if it changes things. So, and then my number 10 is Let's Go to Japan. Fell down a little bit. I'm still enjoying it. It's getting a little samey though. But part of that is I think I've played it a lot, right? I think that's with a lot of games. It's if you play one game 10, 15 times in a 3 or 4 month span, I think a lot of games are gonna feel samey after a while. So this game, I still really enjoy it. But I'm kind of like, let me take a little bit of a break and not play it as much because I think it might play out of it, which I don't want. But I do hope that it is successful and they start doing other versions, like let's go to Germany, let's go to England, let's go to Italy, whatever. Because I think it has that sort of expansion built into it, and you can kind of change it up a little bit. Kind of like change, mess around with it. So Let's Go to Japan fell down a few spots for me. Still in my top 10 because I'm really enjoying it, but I'm going to take a little break so it doesn't get too samey on me. Number 9, Stone Age. This one moved up. It was lower on my list. I moved it way up. It's just still a classic, older worker placement game that I enjoy. And the more I play it, and it's part of it's like it's a classic for a reason. I think this is I think you could call this game a classic worker placement game. It's kind of been around for a long time, and it is what it is.
Stone Age. This thing's been around forever.
It's been around forever. It's got a really old white guy on the cover, right?
Yeah. Really old. Yeah.
But so it moved up a few spots for me from last month. Just still enjoy this game. We'll always look to play, your Stone Ages and a few other games higher on my list, Castles of Burgundy and Concordia and those, Village, which I haven't played yet this year. So there's a couple games that I would easily in the same vein of your standard worker placement Euro. This is kind of one of those. So yep.
Cool.
My number 8, Viticulture. What can you say? Still my game.
Yeah, it should always be up there. If you play.
Should always be up there. It's always gonna be up there. It's one of his quintessentials. I have to eat my words because I used to hate people who didn't make wine, right?
No.
Just did the card thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the last few times I've played this game, I'm like, I'm just gonna do the card thing and see how that works, and it really does work, And I liked a couple of years ago when Jamie was even talking about it, he said well, you can play that way and it's viable because not every winery produces wine. Some wines just produce the grapes. Some wines are just tour placed, So I think the last 2 plays, I don't think I've really produced a lot of wine and just hit a lot of the bonus 1 point here and there, whatever I can do. Have the, what is it? The tour thing where you give a tour, you get a victory point. So you always have a wine in there and then play the card game. So it's fun. So I'm at point. I have realized I've never played with the More Visitors expansion.
Oh, okay.
And I heard that deck of cards, when you replace all of the winter and spring and winter visitor cards with those, it's like a different game because it's So have you played with those?
I have once or twice online. I think it might be on They have that on BGA.
If they
I
do,
know-
I'm doing that. If they do.
yeah, I think that might
haven't
be one of
checked.
the options on BGA. I can't remember, but I know I've played it once or twice. But yeah, it completely changes what
Yeah.
they all do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to play with that in the near future. So that's my
And
number.
Dan's not here tonight, but he would say correct. But go ahead.
Yes, correct. Yeah. My number 7. Hey, look at it, Carlos. Here you go. Finspan, Wormspan. Wingspan.
Slash.
So combine.
Just slash.
So span the span verse.
Spanverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think man, I'm gonna bring Wormspan this weekend, Sunday to TGG. Maybe we'll play that if I get a chance. Because that's still I haven't played it yet. I own it. Don't play it.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to like differentiate. I love Wingspan and I love Finspan. I played them both, and I don't really have one. I'm taking up 2 spots on my top 20, so I kind of combine them. My viewpoint now is what's going to happen is my Wingspan game, because I have the big nesting box that'd be a pain in the ass to travel around with. That's going to probably stay at my house, and I'll play Wingspan at home. When I travel, or if I'm playing solo, I'm playing Finspan because I really love the solo version of Finspan. It's super quick and easy, super setup, and I could see Finspan replacing Wingspan, although I have invested enough in Wingspan where I don't think that's going to happen because I don't want to admit that defeat. But
Wingspan has more stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, if Finspan gets a couple of expansions and stuff like that. So I think I might in the near future mess around with, could I get Finspan, Wormspan all in the Wingspan nesting box? And then it's all just one big box because there's so much room in there that I can't imagine that you can't
put it all in the wine crate.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, the wine crate's pretty full. I'll tell you that because I have everything ever for viticulture, and it's pretty full. So they even have like the fromage expansion and the other smaller ones that are hard to get now. So anyway, so number 7, Finspan, Wormspan, Wingspan, screwed, not Wingspan. My number 6, Fromage, which I'm really enjoying. I actually almost backed the new Kickstarter because they have a Fromagerie, which is like an Italian expansion to the French fromage, and you could get both games deluxe for like 120 or something like that. But I was like, I really almost did it, but I'm like trying not to do that right now because I don't have shelf space. But I'm enjoying it. The more I've played it, the more I've enjoyed it.
It's fun.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I think Finspan, if I played it again, it'll probably jump it, but Fromage is up there. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the drafting. So I didn't do that in the physical plays, but when I played it on BGA, you can draft the structures, and there's a whole mess of other structures that you can draft to replace kind of the base game ones, and that's kind of fun. Is trying to figure out, can you draft structures to replace the ones that are on your base board to kind of synergize and do something different. And I think the last game I did on BGA, I had one where it was like you got to double the victory points of the ones you had on the shelf. I forget the name of the 4 zones, but the one where you have the shelving, the victory point ones on those, if you had stuff there, doubled their victory points. And then I had another one where it was like every time you finished a green card, you got to draw another one. So it was like I was kind of cycling through that. So it was good, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's fast. It plays really fast. Again, it's another game.
Yet to play it. I keep hearing good things about it.
You like it. It's good.
Yeah.
I hear not great things. Like it's not like, world, like, innovatively new things, but solid, fun mini games.
4 little mini games. Yeah.
And my number 5, Pirates Maracaibo. Put those together. Another slash. Hard for me to put them apart because they're both good. I think I prefer Maracaibo over Pirates Maracaibo. So I think if I play them again, I might separate it out, and then Pirates might actually start falling down. I really enjoyed Pirates. It's very fast playing though. Like you could really play it quickly. And so I like that, but I really do. I really enjoyed Maracaibo. I'd love to get into the campaign kind of play of Maracaibo, but I do like the board and the going around the Caribbean aspect of Maracaibo, and it's slightly longer play than the Pirates Maracaibo. Although what's interesting is I think in my plays of Pirates, it ends up being a very quick game because someone always rushes, and I wonder if there's kind of like a magic circle of, well, we're not going to rush it, right? We're going to work our way because you only get the 3 or 4 turns where you go from left to right,
3 or 4, yeah.
And
that's kind of how Robert and I treat your number 11.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We
Yeah. Like,
we have a magic circle. Like we're going 5 hours tonight, right?
Yeah,
We're gonna
right,
build
yeah,
the biggest engines we can,
Go
right?
as long
Right.
as we can. Yeah.
right. So I think that could work with Pirates of Maracaibo too, because you can. What's funny is like the games I've played have been very not low scoring, but scoring. But then they give you like
Scoring.
They're not low scoring,
They're
but they're
scoring.
scoring.
No, I'm saying like they're not like 30, 40 points, but like they give you like the scoring track has X amount of scores, and you have like the 50 and 100 or like 200, and it's like, how do you score 200 in this? Like, it's like so.
Wow.
But I enjoy it. But
Yeah,
I
first time I
think
played Pirates on BGA, it was over, and I was like, "Hold on, it's over? Well, I'm just getting warmed up." So
right,
it was,
yeah,
it was so
it
quick.
was. I think where Pirates will also fall off with me with White Castle, where it's just too quick. Like there's
Yeah.
just when you start getting your engine going or your point scoring going, the game's over. You're like,
Yeah, you besmirch White Castle, you out.
Yeah.
I know, I'm out. I know. I just don't get it. I like it, but part of it is I don't know. I'm not good at it apparently because I can't score more than 30 or 40 points in a game. I just
There's
can't.
so many pieces that connect. Anyway,
I don't know, but it's just so quick. It's like, but
we're on your list.
yeah, exactly. White Castle fell off my list last month.
Boom.
Boom. My number 4. My number 4, Creature Comforts. I always, I've championed kids table board games for a long time. This is my favorite of their games. Play it with my family, although we didn't play it last month, so I have to fix that. I want to do a KTB games week day with my family once soccer season's done. But worker placement, dice placement, easy to play, but has enough for the gamer in me, but easy enough for my 10-year-old to get it and play well at it. So I've talked about it enough on the show. I don't need to get much more detail. My number 3, one of my all-time favorites, probably will get retired this year to the Hall of Fame, Lords of Waterdeep. Just, this is like if I was thinking, I don't know, people listen to the 5 Games for Doomsday podcast, which I love. Is like when the guy interviews people, he said, what are the 5 games you would bring with you to Doomsday or the Deserted Island, right? And Lords of Waterdeep would be one of them, probably because one of the other things in there would be like a D&D books or dice. And I would play Lords of Waterdeep, but then also I could hybridize that game to run D&D games with too. So I'm a D&D player. This is the worker placement game about the biggest city in Forgotten Realms, or not biggest city, but a major city in Forgotten Realms. So it's the nerd in me loves this game. The theme, the worker placement aspect of it, just it's always going to be a great game for me. I don't think I've ever had a bad play of this game. So
Yeah. Classic.
Lords of the Deep. Number 2 is another new game, Ostia.
Oh, great.
Great game. It almost made number 1. I think if I play it again, it might jump to number 1. I guess Rob and Carlos having some audio video problems.
No, I'm just messing with some camera stuff. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay.
We're good.
We
We're
got
good.
a little flicker,
Okay.
so we're trying to fix
Yeah,
it.
I just making sure that you have stuff audio. So yeah, Ostia, we talked about this I think last week pretty extensively. Love this game. I have already been looking several ways to buy it. It's expensive right now, but I have been
looking for this one.
Oh,
but I hear that it's going to be produced and here in the States sometime like next quarter in the summer. There'll be a game. There's a game company that has signed it that's bringing it here to the United States as a general release. Yeah, it's getting Board Game Rundown. OC is quickly becoming one of my favorite games. Yep, Tim, it's up there. And I played it once and it made my number 2. So, and that it is getting U.S. distribution soon. The only thing I hope is that the U.S. distribution has the production value and quality and all the cool bits and stuff like that of the Kickstarter version. If not a big deal.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Retail is fine with
The
me.
gameplays was really drawing me into that one.
Yeah, it's really good. Carlos, you will love it.
I watched. Thanks to y'all bringing it up. I've been watching all kinds of videos and checking out all the retail spaces to see if anybody just has one randomly laying around.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good. It hit my number 2. It almost supplanted my number 1. Probably could supplant my number 1, but my number 1 is Obsession. I love it. Such a good game. I love Dan Halligan, the creator. He is awesome. Yeah. Buy it now.
You got to spend some time talking to him at Dice Tower East.
At Dice Tower East, yeah, he was really cool. I love, it's a one-man shop. This is his one game. He like the communication. I think anyone who wants to run a Kickstarter, just go back and follow his campaigns and follow all his communications. it's perfect. He's never made a misstep. And when he does, like when he screws up something, he makes it right. And it's a great game. I love Downton Abbey. I'm kind of a upstairs, downstairs, Downton Abbey. What's the other one? Bridgerton, whatever. I like that. Yeah. Pride and Prejudice. It's like my guilty pleasure, I guess. I like those kind of shows.
Yeah, me too.
So this game hits. I love that you can modularize it and play different expansions and different pieces. So yeah, it's hit my list. Love Obsession. It's going to be tough, like, because I plan on playing Obsession several more times this year easily. And if I play Ostia, it's going to be a battle between those two, I think, for my 1-2, depending on, there could always be other games that come in, obviously. But I think for a while, I think these guys are going to be fighting for the dominance of the 1-2 spot for me for this year. So that is my top 20 for the year. Yeah.
Well done. I will allow it.
Yeah. And I went long. Wow, I did not realize I took that long today. Normally I go faster.
And that's right. I kept my comments to myself because I wanted to.
You were buying us some time.
Yeah, I was buying
yes,
time.
Yeah, thank you. You understood the assignment.
Yep.
Yeah,
we will open up the phone lines now. 813-618-7099 is the number. I'm going to hit open on this phone line. Please comment in the comments. Let us know how our audio is. Also, comment below in March of 2025 if you were doing. I know my man James Odak does his own top 20 list. Are there any new things? Comment in the comments. Are there any new games added to your top 20 list from your plays in March? So if you look at the rest of this year and how it went, or how do you think it's going, would you add something from your March plays to your top 20 list? Put that game in the comments so we can chat about it. Let's go through some of these comments. My first comment is Rebirth. You brought up Rebirth. Man, what really got me looking at Rebirth, Dr. K, right? That's great.
Yep.
However, what really got me looking at it was Dan's comments. When Dan was on the show and Dan said he played it and then he immediately went looking for it, that was so not Dan 2025 Dan, not even 2024 Dan. That was just so not Dan that it tells me it must be good. And Dan loves his war games, just like I love war games. So I feel like he and I have more games in common than, like, let's say Rob and I.
Yeah, right. I think you would like it.
My list.
Yeah, you would like it because there is a little bit of that, fighting for supremacy where there's not really combat, but it's like I can see you trying to control that castle, and I need to control that castle. So who's going to place that last chip next to it, right?
Yeah, for the same reasons that I love Endeavor Age of Sail. It's that governor track for each of those areas. Like, well, who's gonna combo it up so that they can get control of the governor's seat? Yep. Right. And it's such a negative feeling when someone sweeps it out from under you that I love it.
The battle
it was good.
The game. Yeah.
And I think I forget who won that one. Did I win that one? I think I won that one.
Oh,
I think I won. I think I won Rebirth. Close. I think I was. It was very close between, I think, Pat and I.
Go Gadget BG Stats.
Yeah. I don't have that. Yeah.
It was Wayne. Yep.
Yeah, and then Holotype was really close. I think it was like, I don't know the exact scores, but I think Pat had, like, say 97 and I was at 95, and I think his wife was like 93 or something like that. So it was really close a game as well. So I like that. I like games that were pretty that are.
You and Pat tied at Rebirth, and it came down to the tiebreaker.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Before the game, I clarified it's an interesting tiebreaker. So, like, if you're tied in score at the end of the game, it's whoever controls a specific castle.
Edinburgh, I think.
Edinburgh Castle.
Edinburgh,
right?
yeah.
And so for some reason, I'm like, the first couple of cards I drew, I had one that was like, you get extra bonus points if you control Edinburgh Castle. So I'm like, oh, let me control that. But then, Carlos, what I like the best is if no one controls it, or it's neither of the two people who were tied control Edinburgh Castle, then goes to a second castle, and whoever controls that castle wins, even if they're the last place person in points. So it's kind of like, it's kind of this little interesting thing. Like, you'd have to tie points, and then one of the two people tied would have to not have control of Edinburgh Castle to then go to the fourth tiebreaker. And the fourth tiebreaker is just, if you control that castle, you win.
Kind of reminds me of The King is Dead, where a player can set up a lock so that the French win inside with that player. Like that idea of, I may not be winning the game, but I'm going to throw it so that I have a win condition I can go after.
So I can win that.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, caller.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name, where you're calling from.
Hey guys, it's Tim from South Bend, Indiana.
Hey,
Tim.
I thought I put a block on the phone for
I
that
thought you
guy.
did
I
too.
think there's like a
I
restraining
was trying to
order.
be nice, but yeah.
Are you within 500 feet of a
Listen, man.
school?
Not yet.
On my way.
He's got his white van and his bag of candy ready to go.
Does the Chuck E. Cheese count? Yeah, I'm giving out copies of Flip 7. I'm driving around parking lot, game show parking lot.
Buddy, I jump into your van real
Let's
quick.
wait, this kid over here. Yeah.
You got any lost puppies you need to help find, sir?
Funny.
I'm sorry, that's all
Oh,
jokes.
man.
Our man, Tim from the Board Game Rundown. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Yes, sir. You guys are rocking it. I just wanted to call. I missed like a little bit of the beginning of the show, so I don't know if y'all talked about all the tariff stuff. I don't know how you don't with all that crap going on.
We have not yet.
But okay. And then the other thing, I hear you guys talking about Ossia. You know, I did comment that is one of my all-time favorite games. Like, it is quickly becoming one of my all-time favorites, I should say.
Yeah.
But if y'all have not played Inferno yet, Inferno is amazing. The theme is crazy because you're like, it's Dante's Inferno.
Yep.
So you are having people killed for their sins, and then their soul is like as representative of whatever ring of hell they need to go to, and then you are on your turn moving these souls down into hell. And then when you do that, though, each ring has like a symbol on it, and that tells you what action you can take on the main board. So like at the beginning of your turn, you have to move a soul, and then you have to take one of the actions that is tied to that location. And then when the soul gets to the appropriate ring of hell, you score accordingly. But anybody can move any soul. So there's some timing with that, because you want to make sure you are the one that is moving that soul into place so you can score the points for it. Really crazy theme, really dark, but
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. It's
I
an
remember-
awesome game.
I remember the Dice Tower like a couple months ago did like best board game covers, and they were like doing like a March Madness type bracket thing, and this cover just was killing it because it is a dark, like you can see like all the souls and bodies in there in the river. That's a rough cover right there, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the theme is grim, right? So you kind of have to be with that, but it really does try to adhere to sort of the Dante, literature, right?
Sure.
And then, I guess like if you put it in perspective, right? Inferno was just Dante writing a hit piece on all the people he hated,
Yes.
at the time, anyways, right? He's naming names. He was the Kendrick Lamar, right? He's calling people out.
A minor.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't played this yet. It got played at our Beans and Dice game day last month, and I know William was in on that. He showed up, and they just happened to be starting it, so he's like, "Sure, I'll sit down and play it." I know he grumbled quite a bit. I think he finished with negative
time
points.
out.
I
Name
know,
a
that's
game
a
he
William
hasn't
thing.
grumbled
That's a
in.
William thing, yeah. But he finished with negative points, and it was just his purpose, which in most of the games he plays, was just to block everybody, make sure nobody could do what they wanted to do. He was going to get in everybody's way, and like I say, I think he finished last with negative points. But I hear the scoring is tight. I think the winner in this only had like, I want to say 12 or 16 points or something.
I mean, I scored a lot more points than that when I
Okay.
played, but I was. So I don't want to say that they were bad at the game, but maybe they were bad. Let me see if I can find my play of it real quick. I'm
Okay.
pulling on my BG.
Or again, if you had maybe you didn't have a William in there just trying to block everybody from everything they wanted to do. So
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's also could be it, right? Like
Yeah.
we didn't have somebody that was just like, oh hey, nobody gets to have fun
Right.
today.
Hey, it's a theme of the game.
Let's
Like,
Yeah.
he's just being
Dante's Inferno
themey.
is playing the theme.
So when Bob and I played, I won 133 to 112.
Wow.
So-
Okay. Well, maybe I'm a little off in
But
the
I was-
scoring, but I know William was complaining because at least 3/4 of the way through, he still had negative points. So
Well, you can definitely get negative points because if you don't have the money to pay Charon or whatever to take a soul across the river, you have to borrow. And so when you borrow, you get negative points.
It's just like Brass Birmingham.
hey, there you go. Take a loan.
Yeah,
Take that loan early. That way you can have time to pay it back.
that's right. That's right. But yeah, that was really good. Have y'all played Slay the Spire yet? I finally just played it. I'm a big fan of the video game, but
I played the video game a bunch, and I've seen people play the board game, but I have not played the board game version yet. But
Yeah, that was the one that we missed at Dice Tower East last year.
Yeah.
Was the board game? I played a video game a bunch. My wife plays it nonstop. She actually was mad is Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is free on PlayStation Network, but it's coming off. So she's like, I think I have to buy it. I'm like, okay, what is it, like $5? Okay, you can bust out the big bucks and buy
Splurge
yourself Slay the
$10
Spire.
on that or
for the-
20,
yeah.
it's a very good. It is probably one of the better video game ports that I've played.
That's what I've heard.
I will say the one complaint I've heard, and I guess I just don't play with people that do this, but one complaint is like an alpha could really try to like quarterback the whole thing.
Mhm.
I mean, but you could have that problem with like any co-op game.
Sure.
But I think if you can avoid that situation, and you don't mind the roguelike, play style, I think you guys would have a good time with it. It's pretty fun.
It's a fun game in general, so yeah, we'll have to try it out sometime for sure.
Now, does Slay the Spire have any mechanisms to reduce the alpha gamer? So some games will allow like limited communication. Some games have very hidden information. Some games have a token that goes around saying you are the decider.
Not really, man. Because what happens is all the different heroes, depending on how many players you've got, right? They all line up in their own spot, and then when you go to a room, you spawn a monster in every row, right? So at least one monster for every hero. And then that monster may summon additional monsters, right? So if you're fighting like a spike slime, it might bring along an acid slime. So you pull an acid slime out and line that up. Now, the monsters in your row are only going to attack the hero that they are lined up with. But any of the heroes can attack any of the monsters. And then the boss monsters and like the epic monster, right, or the elites and the bosses tend to have like area effects. So they just hit everybody all at once. But I mean, really, it's all simultaneous play, so it's pretty open communication. I mean, you don't want to directly. I guess they say technically, like, don't say I can do 5 points of damage. You can say I can cause some weakness, or I can, vulnerability. Where do we want this? But they encourage you to be a little vague with it. But I mean, we played it 3-player. I played it solo a bunch of times, like the day I got it, just to learn it, and I just played through the first act with like all the characters because it didn't take that long. And then we played a 3-player game, and we went after an elite boss early, and that game just mopped the floor with us.
Wow.
I keep hearing good things about this one. So
it's
like
fun.
The So Very Wrong About Games podcast continues to bring it up. There was an episode a month or two ago where they're like, yeah, we're kind of done with it. And then like less than a month later, yeah, we're back on it. Like, it's really good. Like, we can't put this down.
It's an awful lot of cards.
I mean,
in that
that's
photo,
kind of
though.
how I am with the video game. I'll go a couple weeks without playing it, and then I'll pop open my iPad. I got time, or like I'm sitting at a doctor's office, or a kid's got an appointment, and I'm like, I'll just play Slay the Spire for a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good time killer.
Yeah, and then they even have ways that you can unlock, like the ascension levels, and then and then there's like harder bosses, and unlock additional cards for the characters. So there's lots of cool stuff in there. So if you're a fan of the video game, 100% check out the board game if you have the opportunity. But I think even if you don't not familiar with the video game, but you like deck builders and co-ops, I think you could also have a good time with it. So
yeah, I think the one thing that really you could play it solo, but if you're gonna play this solo, you might as well just go play the video game, right? But I like the idea that how they worked out the co-op. The co-op version of it, I think, was what intrigues me the most, is playing it with somebody and kind of trying to beat the Spire together, and kind of moving through the game as two instead of one. So that is interesting. I do want to give it a shot.
Yeah, and they do a really good job of it being really difficult, so the challenge is there, and your cards, it's really exciting how you can like level up your cards and upgrade your cards and transform your cards, you know what I mean? And like do all that stuff.
Yep.
They do a really nice job with the market. It's kind of crazy how everything is pared down. So, like in the video game, you've got like 70 health, right? In the board game, you've got like 8 or 9 health, depending if you're the Ironclad or not. So the Ironclad has more health. And then like everybody else is kind of pared down. But but at the same time, they scaled it really well. But that game will just, if you are reckless or not paying attention, just like video game, it's gonna start smacking you around. So,
Yeah.
But I love difficult co-ops. Again, I'm lucky. I've got a group of guys, we play games with for ages. And whenever there's an alpha gamer, I'm like, well, I'm not sitting and playing a co-op with them. Like I would have played, I'm fine if somebody wants to like do all the board upkeep.
Yeah.
And everybody can contribute suggestions, but I don't want everybody telling everybody what everybody's turns need to be. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's not as fun. Yep.
Got to be okay with
But
allowing added difficulty by not taking the most optimal turn. Now, if it's a situation where the action you will take will lose us the game, all right, we gotta step in on that, right? But if it's just gonna make the game harder, like you gotta allow for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I also, I'm not the optimal turn gamer anyway. Like when I played D&D, used to play D&D with these guys, and they had to like min-max every character. They're like looking ahead and trying to
resemble that remark.
Listen, I like to go fast and loose. Oh, this feat sounds cool. I think I'm going to take this one. Oh, what's that building towards? I don't know. It's going to be fun right now, though.
I like it.
Hey, I had a question for you. I watched a recent video y'all posted up on the Hoplomachus
Victorum.
You guys played the skirmish version and talked about that, but the whole time I was thinking to myself, I play and love War Chest. I'm not sure if you're familiar with War Chest. I imagine y'all would have played it.
You know what? I've been dying to play War Chest because I never have, and it looks like my kind of game.
It's good.
Like I love tactical, like strategy games, especially like the thing that always intrigued me about War Chest is sort of like that limited space, right? It's almost like a that
tight.
small board, and you're just
Yep.
I can't really tell you how it would compare to that, but I will tell you that Hoplomachus as a skirmish game was awesome. And Bob and we played it together. We played against each other, and we hate losing to each other. So like usually if one of us beats the other one, it's like, well, let me see the rules.
You must have something wrong.
I know that feeling.
Like
Whenever Rob picks up the rule book, or if I pick up the rule book,
like,
what they're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
He's checking to see if that action I took was legal.
He didn't explain that right.
Yeah. That dog. I just say I did it right, and then I hand him the rule book. But no, that game was really neat because it allowed for even me, who I was playing bad, I still not only had the opportunity to win, but actually did win because Bob made a really bad move late, and it like created sort of this stand-up moment. You know what I mean? As we I just roll the dice, and it's like I just need like 3 hits on these 4 dice, and if I get that, you're toast.
Bob stole defeat from the jaws of victory.
He did, and he was so mad. It was delicious.
Well, okay, so when y'all get a moment and you get to play War Chest, definitely do a review of it. I want to hear, and the reasons I compare the two is because as I watched you play, I kept thinking to myself, man, that looks like War Chest. Like it's a flat map, and I've got poker chips.
You just want to know if you need to buy it or not. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why I watch any content.
I will. For sure, right? Yeah, I need to get in good with AEG because I think they make War Chest. But yeah, I've been dying to get War Chest. It's like I think I've got it for like a 1 in trade on my BGG.
And they have a great.
Page.
There's a website. I think it's on BGA now. It might.
It is on BGA. Yeah.
Is it okay?
But I
War
know that
Chest on BGA.
for years now they've had a website where you can play against others online, and they have tournaments. But now it sounds like it's on BGA. So it's man, I love it. It's so compact. Give it a shot. Well, thank you for answering that question.
I love the idea of it. Oh, yeah, happy to. Yeah, I'm dying to play it. I love the look of it, the vibe. I mean, it is 100% my kind of game. So I would be shocked if I didn't like it.
Yeah. For the folks at home, Tim is on the Board Game Rundown podcast. Him and a few friends come out of Indiana, do a great job of just like we do, just like nonsense.
rambling on about
on,
games.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
on Wednesday nights, but then posting out, they do better than we do at posting out great reviews of
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Sit down and have that panel style discussion. That's the kind of discussion I love to watch about board games. Is, you know, it could take longer because you've got 3 or 4 people talking about one game,
Yeah.
but that banter and that back and forth conversation and question and answer really allows you to get deep into the thoughts on that game. So I appreciate that style. Let the folks at home know where they can find more of the Board Game Rundown.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess if we're going to punish them, then for sure. Yeah, find Board Game Rundown on YouTube, Instagram. We live stream every Wednesday because we can't cross the streams with these guys. We don't want to compete and lose all our viewers to a superior.
That one
show
viewer.
with
Yeah, right. Our
with
viewer.
their phone in. We had you guys on. That was so good. But anyways, yeah, you can find us there. We got tons of videos up, reviews, playthroughs, all that stuff. I appreciate the plug. I didn't call to plug the show. I swear, I just called because I wanted to
No,
tell
I
you
plugged
guys.
it because I like you guys.
That's good stuff.
Actually, I brought you guys up last week. We quickly talked about your top 5 BGG top 100 games that shouldn't be there, and generally
Oh yeah,
how wrong you all were.
Oh, yeah.
yeah that's
On a
fair.
couple of those,
That's
for
the-
sure.
On a couple.
That's the
Yeah.
best part. That's the best part about doing a list like that is that everybody like disagrees, but you can have some fun conversations.
Yeah.
And what I like is when you can do a list that seems negative, but you do it in a fun way and it's not toxic. And it's like, no, we can have a discussion about, you know, like games we disagree on, and everybody can still walk away fine. Even though I did repeatedly call several of my co-hosts monsters and terrible people for
Oh, of
some of their
course.
opinions.
Well,
Because
you
I mean,
gotta.
on a list like that, every game you pick, you're kicking somebody's puppy,
Yeah.
right? Somebody's puppy got
100%.
kicked. But the conversation doesn't have to divulge to like a BGG toxic forum. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like, not everything has to devolve
Keep it
into
fun.
name
Yeah.
calling.
That was the whiskey.
That was whiskey.
But,
Yes, it is Whiskey Wednesday, which is
but-
Blame it
appreciate-
on the alcohol.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I love your banter because, again, it's sort of the same vibe we try to create on our shows. I just like hanging out with my buddies. It's a good excuse, and we get to talk about stuff we love. So it's always a good time to listen to you guys. I catch you when I can, and
All right, go put the
So,
kids to
keep
bed.
up the
And
good
I
work.
know you guys are in the past. We're in the future, different time zones. So kid bedtimes are probably coming up. You handle dad duties, and thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for calling. Don't be a stranger.
yeah, you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
See you,
Tim.
Thanks, Dan. Have a good one.
That was Tim from the Board Game Rundown. That
Call-in show.
opens
Looks
up
like
our
we got,
phone line again.
Pat has just subscribed to the Board Game Rundown, so that's good.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good channel.
Do we?
I think we were
you-
giving out achievements last time we had that as subscriber counts were
Yeah.
going up on both sides.
Yeah.
Let's go through
Back to the
the
chat.
comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. We got a lot of comments.
We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Phantom Memer, I think you
Yep.
recognize the person as
Pat.
Pat. I heard
Yep.
you say.
Yes, Pat. Yeah. Yep.
He said, thanks for introducing us to Flip 7 at Geeky Fair on Sunday. It was an auto buy at Walmart for $8. Alley at South Shore, and it was a hit.
Yeah. He had a
Three
game
play-
day. He had a different game day at the South Shore this past.
Ah.
Yeah. And it was a hit.
Said it was a hit, 3 plays in a row, and one guy surprising me. It didn't seem like his kind of game, but he loved it. I think Flip 7 is everybody's kind of game.
Yeah.
It kind of is. It's a really fun game. Yeah.
Yep.
I taught it to my cousins. We visited my uncle this past weekend in Bradenton, Palmetto, and then played Flip 7, taught it to them. You know how you do that teach where you're like, okay, I'm just going to do the obligatory let's play it one time thing. And then I start packing it up like, that was fun. And they're like, no, bring it back out.
Yeah.
And like, can we do it again? I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I don't want to
You
force
can't just
games
do it
on
once.
people
No, you can't do it once.
because they know me. They're like, I bet you brought a game.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, yes,
Yeah, of
yes,
course I did.
primo.
Of course I
Yes,
did.
cousin. I did bring a game.
Yeah.
And it was Flip 7.
50 of them in my car.
Flip 7? Yeah.
I brought a copy for you. Look at your chair. There's a copy for you. There's a copy for
Taped
you.
one under your chair, taped under your chair.
Then Phantom Memer, we talked a little bit about the Rebirth. That
Rebirth,
was
yep.
one of the games he introduced to you. And then Edmund England was in the chat saying hello. Thank you, Edmund.
Emma said audio was good, so that's good. Thanks for the feedback.
Much appreciated. Phantom Memer again with the introducing you. So he introduced you to both Rebirth and
Yep,
Yeah.
we brought those
Yep.
two. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Both of those. Yep. So it's fun. Yep.
James Odak asked, "Nice dinosaurs?" Like, because I was
Yeah.
feeling
The
this when you
bones,
said
with the
dinosaurs that
bones.
don't eat people.
Yeah, it was like you're
Really?
recreating their bones. It's like you're not really
Paleontology.
recreating-
Yeah, you're not building dinosaurs,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Uh,
you're building their
Bringing it back to
skeletons.
life or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
And no dino meeples.
No dino meeples. No,
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 uh-uh.
no cubes. It's cubes.
Yeah.
Rob, you love it. It's
favorite.
cubes.
I love it.
Let's see. He says all kinds of dinos on specimen cards. Some childhood faves and some that are totally new to me.
Yeah.
Cubes for fossils from the various periods, says Phantom Memer, color coded using real paleontologist codes, and white cubes. Wow, wait, real paleontologist codes. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it
cool.
was well researched. I think it was.
Mhm,
I think either the designer or some of the folks that were involved in the game were actual paleontologists.
Well, they had names, I think, of on some of the cards of the paleontologists and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I, you know what? I'm kind of interested. Like when you cross science and gaming together,
Yeah, and you
I'm
know me,
in.
I love games that you can use as a teaching tool, right? So
because I like to learn about stuff anyway.
yeah.
You're gonna catch me watching those videos on how that works for the next 5 months because I played that game one time.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Documentaries.
He says Dino cards have all kinds of cool flavor text and pictures. This is James's comment on Wayne's perfect game, Dino Flip in Space. What he says?
I think
So we
that's
were
to
talking
the
about-
no dinosaur
Yeah.
meeples or no eating each other or something like that.
Oh, no,
probably.
that was. I thought that was with the all. I said something about the expansions. We were going to play something.
Oh,
about,
yeah, no
uh,
Terraforming Mars.
Terraforming Mars
expansion.
expansion.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Phantom Memer corrects us saying
Yes,
always
always include, yes, yeah.
Prelude when playing.
Yeah,
Always
Terraforming
include
Mars.
you have to, because then it's
Yeah.
like a 10-hour game if you don't.
It's a
include
must.
Prelude.
Yeah.
Tim, our last caller, had said Ostia is quickly becoming one of my favorite games, and then he called in. You see what he did there, folks? He
Yeah.
commented and he called in,
Primed
just
it and
saying,
then jumped
Nice.
in. Yeah.
message.
Mhm.
Let's see. It's getting U.S. distribution soon.
And then he believed that I believe so is the comment that I said. I hope that the distribution copy is similar to Kickstarter. He says he believes it is, so that'd be good. Yeah.
And Bill Fogarty says, buy it now before prices go up from tariffs.
Yeah.
Another confirmation that audio is good. Thank you very much. Let's see. Galactic Cruise will be added.
That was you asking what other games people are going to add to their
Yeah.
top 20 list.
I
this
was actually going
month.
to say that when you asked. I was going to say a lot of people are going to say Galactic Cruise. It's their top 20.
Yeah, I'm looking to maybe play that this Sunday. So we'll see. So
I got to play it. Yeah.
Farhan Wasim says, why do you think Obsession has such a great wide appeal? I mean, I haven't played and would like to, but from what I have seen from reviews, it seems like one of its appeals is the story it can create with each game, but doesn't seem like it has a lot of depth in terms of strategy. But regardless of what, it seems to be loved by all kinds of gamers across the spectrum. That's a great comment from Farhan.
it is a great comment. Yeah, it's good. And I think there's depth to it because you can play it different ways, right? You can either try to get your personal objectives or try to get just a ton of guests. You can get a ton of buildings.
Buildings and rooms.
I think the theme is, and I comment later on to Farhan that it's really the theme that does it for me. Like it's the gameplay leads you to the theme so much, and it just hits. That you feel like you're playing Downton Abbey or upstairs, downstairs. So to me, it really nails that. And I think part of it is a little not biased, but it's like the owner, the creator of the game, just the way he handles his fans and the people who purchase the games. When I purchased this game online, like the next day I get an email from him with just like reams of here's some information. Here's if you're buying this version of the game, so watch these videos for the unboxing because it's better than these. Like it was just so much attention to detail and care for the customer that I want to love the game even more than I do.
A fan
yeah.
and a zealot.
Right. Yeah. Similar to Stonemaier, right? Like,
Yes.
like I like the games and then the dude's awesome. So I like the games even more. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say part of it also for me is it's another one of those games that's easy to learn. There's not a whole lot of rules. I mean, there's a few little fiddly things, but there's not a whole lot of rules. But it's another one of those that's just really hard to. The first couple times I played, I was getting blown away, and I was like, "How are people scoring such high scores when it just seems like you're just doing these simple-ish kind of things over and over again?" And then as I played my third or fourth time, I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see the connections here. You need to look ahead. You need to save these people because this room, I can only take female guests. And then so I need to make sure that I'm not using my females, and I got to, move this around. And then, there's something to it. Once you've played a few times and you kind of start seeing the connections, you start getting deeper and deeper into it. So, yeah.
And then Obsession has plenty of depth.
Yeah.
So the chat
Yeah.
is commenting in.
Sam's a fan
providing
of that
some
game too.
updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Phantom Beamer says you nailed it. The tiebreaker for Rebirth. It's Sterling Castle for the
weird case. That's like
for
the
that second
secondary
tiebreaker,
tiebreaker.
yeah.
That yeah.
That's an interesting tiebreaker you described there. Farhan has another comment in here. On a different note, one game I'm automatically associate with Ostia is
Amalfi Resistance. Amalfi.
Big
The
words for
Amalfi
me.
Coast. Yeah. Same area.
Just by the virtue of both of these games share the color scheme and the cover art. Has anyone played it the latter?
I have not.
I've not.
I haven't heard of that one. Have to look it up. Mike. Looks like Wayne's trying to pull it up over there so we can take a look at it. But
We got comment in the chat. Inferno talking about William played it at game day.
I was Inferno.
Said Inferno was brutal.
Yeah. So again, they played probably a different style than Tim played. So it was. I'm sure it was a very different game, and they were all learning. I think it was a 4-player game, and they were all learning for the first time. That game was, I want to say maybe 4 hours. It was a long game, but they were reading the rule book a lot.
Any thoughts on Dutch Resistance?
Oh, there's Carlos.
Oh yeah, that was Carlos. This is a game for you, man.
That's not. I was thinking Dutch Blitz. That's
Yeah,
Carlos.
no.
Okay.
Dutch
but
Resistance.
Dutch Resistance is a historical based
Yes,
one. It's
it
in
is.
Holland,
You are the
right?
Dutch Resistance. Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
Holland. It was a Kickstarter game.
Team Orange.
Yes, and it looks cool. I almost been on Kickstarter, and then
Is it one of those solo only ones?
no. It's
They played 4-player at
played
BGG
4-player
last
at
week.
BGG.
Yep.
Yeah. Janella. There's a comment later on where Janella has played at DGA. Her and her husband were at the I forget bad with names, so I apologize.
Chris Miller and Janella Miller. Yep.
Yep. It's really cool. You're playing the Dutch Resistance. I think it's cooperative, right? You're playing the Dutch Resistance against the board, and you're trying to you defeat the Germans, which is always a good thing. Sweet.
I can agree to that. Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Pat Conley, otherwise known as Phantom Memer.
Hey, Pat.
How you doing?
Hey,
you understood the
Let me,
assignment. You comment and you call in.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of had to after your last comments about Tim, so it's kind of like I felt obligated.
You see what I did there? Hey, Pat, where are you calling out of?
Right now, I'm still in Zephyr Hills. I won't be going up to Vermont until the end of the month.
My man, Zephyr Hills. That's Rob's stomping ground.
Out my way. Wesley Chapel, Zephyr Hills. Yep.
And I want to talk a little bit about, 2 games mainly. Orange Shall Overcome. We played. I did the Kickstarter all in, so mine's the copy's not coming until the summer in Vermont.
Oh.
But like I said, Janella has it. We played at Tampa Gaming Guild, and it was a blast. We managed to defeat the Nazis on the very last move of the very last turn.
Oh, that always feels good.
Tension was rampant. We played a few rules wrong that maybe made it a little bit easier, but thank God we did. It is incredible. It is historically based. The people involved are actual historical people, and the designer actually designed it in honor of his grandmother, who was part of the Dutch Resistance and is a character in the game.
Nice.
So it was really fun. And it's like there's not really an alpha gamer problem. There's a co-op, but there's not really an alpha gamer problem. You talk about what can I do, what can you do, what do we need you to do this turn so that I can do this on my turn. That last turn was like, okay, I need you to bring documents to this place so I can pick them up to deliver them to this cell here. And it was so much fun. It was a blast. I will play that game anytime. And as far as holotype goes, Carlos, if you want to learn to play holotype, I will teach that game anytime, anywhere, to anybody. I love that game so much. I got the Kickstarter from when it first came out, and I did a Kickstarter for the European expansion, which frankly doesn't add that much. It adds some new dinosaurs, but you kind of have to play with the different sets. But it did add some things that I wanted it to add to make the gameplay better. One part of it is that some asymmetric abilities between the players, but I can't get my wife or too many other people to want to play it because it adds a level of complexity that kicks it up a notch. So I'm kind of I need to get that played sometime, but we'll have to wait and see. So But I will teach you. And the one thing I love about holotype is the dinosaurs that I had as favorites when I was a kid. It's like, I got to discover that T-Rex, coolies. And then the heartbreak of, I have to trash the Triceratops because I'm not going to be able to discover him. I'm sorry. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned the European expansion. There's a whole other set of dinosaurs. I guess I never knew that, but they had a whole different set of dinosaurs over in Europe than we have here. So we have ours that we know and love, and then they've got theirs they know and love. But you get that European expansion, you can learn about all new kinds of dinosaurs.
Yep.
And if you want to make it real themey, at the Glazer Museum here in Tampa, Florida,
I hear it coming.
in downtown, there is Big John. Big John is, I think, the largest collection of Triceratops bones in the United States.
Oh, really?
Like the most complete Triceratops in the United States.
I was talking about that big thing they have out front. It's the recycling thing.
No.
Recycling.
That's
inside.
Mosey.
That's
Inside.
Mosey.
There's an actual Triceratops skeleton there.
Oh, okay.
And what's cool is it also still has the injury to its front shield.
That's cool.
That appears to be what caused its demise. So
Wow. Cool.
I would say that'd be a great place to play this. They have some tables right in that same area.
There you go.
Just saying.
Okay.
Destination gaming.
There you go.
I'm going to have to one-up you one here on this one. I, as a kid, grew up in New York City and got to go to the American Museum of Natural History all the time, where we had the Brontosaurus fossil in the main entryway.
Oh, man.
Then, of course, then we realized we had the wrong head on it, and it's now the Apatosaurus. But I lived with that growing up. And the one nice thing about the games is they have some mini expansions. To the base game, there's a pterosaur mini expansion, and then with the European, they added what they call a Curatarsi, which are basically the crocodilian mini expansions, and you can play those with the North American group.
Cool.
So, there's a lot of gameplay there for bang for the buck, and again, and when we played it at TGG before, at Geeky Ferret, I think I told you guys this. We played it with a young lady who was an ornithology major who was traveling over to Berlin to study paleontology, and so she had a blast with that game.
Yeah. Seems like it's really on
What a
point there.
coincidence.
Yeah.
It's again, I enjoy games that you can learn history, learn some science, you kind of educate yourself while you're having fun playing a game. And that's what the Dutch Resistance is another one. You get to learn about, a part of World War II that you may not get in most movies. And like Carlos, I think it's a cooperative game, but I think it's up your alley as well because you love the history, you love the World War II theme. I think I definitely both. I think you'd enjoy both of those.
Now, Pat, as you talk more, your voice becomes much more familiar. If this is the Pat I know,
No, it is.
Yeah, you played
turn.
Crusaders. You've played Crusaders with him.
He's very good friends with Santa Claus.
Pat likes social deduction. Is there any type of social deduction or hidden information in Resistance Orange?
No, you all know who you are. So it's not like one of you is a hidden traitor, which would be a cool little thing. It's like part of yourself. But no, we're all good Dutch Resistance members.
So no traitor
working
mechanism in
together.
there. Full co-op.
Yeah, no mechanism. We all have special abilities. Like my special ability when we played was I could control the trains. I was the train conductor, so I could go pretty much anywhere I wanted. My wife Sherry, she had a Prego suit, so she could smuggle stuff without getting stopped by the Gestapo or the police. And so everybody had their own little unique abilities of you can do this better than everybody else can do this. It's a really, really, really fun game, and it plays pretty quickly. Probably the 3-hour time frame with everybody where you're learning it could be. We did play. I'll be honest. We did play the easiest scenario, which was good because I don't think we were ready for anything bigger than that yet. But I am really looking forward to getting this to the table a lot.
Good deal.
But yeah. Well, I can say, Wayne, I will have your cup at Tampa Gaming Guild on Sunday. We haven't picked it up from Geeky Ferret yet, but we will before we come down there on Sunday.
Awesome. I left my giant tumbler at the game store, and they're gonna grab it for me. So it's nice.
There you go.
Good to have friends.
Yeah, it is. It's always
Yeah. Well, you guys, good night. I'm going to hang up here.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you,
call,
Pat.
Pat.
Appreciate it.
Great to
See
hear
you Sunday,
from you.
man.
Good to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
2 callers. Ding, 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 ding.
It's a
So to
call-in show.
quickly share that Amalfi resistance, it does look very much a lot like Ostia.
Oh, the cover does,
Oh.
for sure.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah. A little bit more colorful, actually, than Ostia.
Oh, yeah,
but
way
Is
more
this the Timu version?
Yeah, it looks
I don't
good,
know.
though.
It looks nicer. Yeah.
Yeah,
You get-
looks
you
really
get
nice.
this one
Actually,
actually, it
pretty
does look
pretty
nice.
pretty high rating. It's got 7.7, 3.3 weight,
How old is it?
What year is that?
2023.
23. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
fairly new.
Unique mechanism where ships give you actions, also manage your resources.
Well,
This
that
looks
sounds
like an
Ostia.
interesting game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds very much like Ostia.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to see if we can find that somewhere. I wonder if they've
Yeah.
got it in the Dice Tower library. Maybe we can try it
At
at
Dice Tower East.
East.
Yeah, I have to keep that on the list. So yeah, that looked cool. That did. It looked like a more colorful version of Ostia. So there you go.
Cool. All right, still hitting those comments. It's
Oh, yeah,
coming
yeah.
up on 10:30.
Yeah, we're almost caught up. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
almost
we
caught
still
up.
gotta
I
do
don't,
our-
I don't think we're doing our boards tonight.
Oh, we
but-
are. We're
oh,
doing-
we
we're
are?
getting
Ah,
our
you
board
got
in.
it. You got time.
We're
Yeah.
getting our
All right,
board in.
all right.
We're actually pretty. I think we're caught up on the comments.
Because the
pretty much.
comments were heavy. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
I don't
it's
want to
good.
ignore them.
Good
Like, I
conversation,
really want to
yeah.
go through these comments. Let's see. Want to play Dutch Resistance? That's where we're at. Okay.
Yep.
Orange shall overcome.
Yep.
Let's see. Janela has it, and we played it at TGG. My copy is
Yep.
all
Yep.
in
Yep.
and is being sent to Vermont. Okay.
That
then,
was Pat, yeah, and
that's
then
Pat,
I
yeah.
just
Okay,
responded.
All right.
Obsession stuff. Yeah.
Then Pat subscribed to, well, I think we are caught up. Pat subscribed
we're caught
to Board Game Rundown, and Tim says thanks. And then Farhan says, yep, going that extra mile for end customer really
That was
goes
to my
a
comments
long
about
way.
Dan Halligan from Obsession. Yeah. So.
It does not hurt, not at all.
No. And so
And
if
he says it's the next iteration of a game called
Amalfi.
Amalfi.
I heard of Amalfi. I didn't know that that related. But that's
Oh, okay. So they are.
thank
related.
you for
Wait,
that. The
Ostia
game
is
certificate.
related?
That's what
No,
was
no. He's
yeah.
saying that Amalfi Resistance is an iteration of Amalfi.
Okay.
Oh, of
I think I'm
Amalfi.
pronouncing it right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
we're gonna look into finding that game for on. So
Gotcha.
that looks like a cool game. So.
Yeah, it looks good. Sweet.
All right, let's
All right.
let's
Who's
jump
first?
into, I guess, my board.
Wanna do yours?
Hello,
Do yours
folks.
next.
We're
Okay.
gonna-
Yeah. All right. Got a board back here.
Beans and Dice podcast. We're getting into the top 20 board updates for March of 2024. Games that we played in March of 2024. I'm going to do like Wayne did in order of the games played, and then I'll throw them up on the board and move things around as I see fit. So the first game I played at the beginning of March was Fellowship of the Ring, the trick-taking game. Yeah, we're going to need to move some stuff down here. This thing is rising to the top. Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game is just that, a trick-taking game in the likes of The Crew. If you remember The Crew, it is the cooperative trick-taking game. All right, we got to 10. 10 is kind of where I have to think for a second.
At Lost Cities right now at 8. You got an empty spot there at 9 as we move things around.
I don't know. I love Lost Cities, and Fellowship of the Ring is new, and there's still more to get out of it. But I have loved every play.
Lost Cities is good though.
Yeah, that's kind of a line there.
Yeah, it's tough.
We're gonna throw Fellowship of the Ring, the trick-taking game, at number 9, and you'll notice I've been adding my BGG ratings as well.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yep. So this is my BGG rating of 9 is how I rated that, 9 out of 10 on BGG.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I think
Pretty
it's
high.
good.
Yeah.
Then I played right after that, a few days later, Guild of Merchant Explorers. Guild of Merchant Explorers is a flip and place game.
Flip and cube. Yeah.
So you're playing the roles of merchants who are exploring. Get that? Merchant explorers.
Imagine that.
You start off in a center city. There's a board with a lot of tiny little hex that go out onto this beautifully drawn, ancient style, like different shades of beige map, like a Fantasyland map.
One of 4 or 4 or 6 different maps you can play.
Could be, I think it's 6.
Maybe 6. Okay. Yeah.
And you're placing these cubes each round based on flips of cards. They're going to tell you where you can place, whether you can play on grassland, ocean, or you can play on desert, or you can play on mountains. And your goal is to get these cubes lined out, spidering out, almost like wagon wheeling out, spoking out from the center village city in such a way that you make connections with other villages, so that when you make these villages that you drop, you now have new places that you can spoke from in the following rounds. You're really not going to go very far each round. So that's the thing, is you got to start to build these combos so that you can start getting to the edges of the map by the end of the game. It is so good. It is.
That's
And
good,
it is an
This
8
is,
on my BGG
yeah.
list.
This is one that hasn't hit my list yet because I've only played it on BGA. And so, like, while I'll move games around if I play them on BGA, I'm trying to list rank games that I play at least physically first. So
Yeah, me too.
I want to play it physically first because it'll hit my list. I'm like you, Carlos, where first time I played this game, I was very much like, eh. And then the more I played it, I'm like, oh, wow, this
Like
is
50 Shades of Beige.
really better than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better.
Oh, it does.
And
It
as you
keeps
throw in
getting
some
better.
more of the stuff, go to the new maps and some of the other stuff, it adds things and it gets pretty cool. Yeah.
My wife kept asking to play it again, and I was like, "There's so many new games, so many new games." And then so I gave it and played it, and next thing I know, I'm on BGA, like playing solo, over and over and over, because I wanted to make sure I got it down pat. So I'm putting it between Mandalorian Adventure and the Fellowship of the Ring, which it just got on the board. I played some Flip 7. My Flip 7 is currently at 5. I don't want to move it any higher. I rate that game. I had it rated as an 8. I think I'm rating it as a 10 from now on.
Whoa.
So I'm going to have to update this to change the rating to a 10. Like Flip 7, it's a 10.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize you put your numerical rating next to the games. There.
Yeah, you just started doing that. It looks like That's what I'm saying.
It's that's how I roll. Super rando. I think that's Weddy Race too. Hang on, and look at that. So yep, you gonna throw a 10 up there for me, Rob?
Make it permanent now.
Now my fingers are all blue and my tongue is blue.
Put
Where's
a
Papa
2
Smurf?
right next, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Flip 7 is staying at 5 because even though I give it a 10, doesn't mean it's my favorite game ever.
Yeah.
It is for what it does.
It is a solid.
It is the best of what
10,
it does.
Yeah, it is kind of like a 10 game that wouldn't. Yeah, I get you.
I got more plays of Lord of the Rings trick-taking game, more plays of Flip 7, more plays of Captain Flip, which I won't move yet. And then we get into the bigger games towards the end of the month. And I got to play, and thanks to Robert, Endeavor Deep Sea. Endeavor Deep Sea is not a sequel, but the next iteration of the Endeavor game system.
Really a different game, yeah.
Completely different game than the Endeavor Age of Sail. There's some mechanics that they share, but I really believe they're completely different. All I know is that one play with Robert, I had so much fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, it was just, I walked away from it continuing to think about it. It was just good. It was flat out a great game. Yeah. For that reason, it is going to take my 10 spot right now with an 8.5 on the BGG.
All right.
So so Rob, when you leave tonight, just steal it from him.
Yeah, I'll just borrow it. Yeah.
So that we can play it Sunday, maybe.
I'm not going to be there Sunday, unfortunately.
Oh, you're not going to be there Sunday?
No,
Oh, man.
I got a birthday party.
If he was, I'd say take it because it's
All
that
right,
good.
Carlos, what are you doing?
Jim's
Come down to
son's birthday party.
TGG Sunday, man.
We got church on church all day, bro. Let's see.
That's why you got to like in and out in an hour, man. That's it.
We're there first thing in the morning, and then we leave for lunch, and then we're back there till the evening.
Wow.
We got a lot of kids. We got to keep them busy. Idle hands are the devil's playground. Last game I played.
That's making.
That I forgot to write. This was earlier in the month, but it was middle of the month. I got to play SETI.
Ooh.
I really liked it. I gave it an 8 on my BGG ranking so far. Like, it's a good solid game, but then it suffers from that length of play thing. We're like, man, I love that game. I just don't know how often it's going to get played. It's not going to be a weeknight game. So for that reason, this is going to be the first time a game falls off my board. So for the first time,
this year, yeah.
I've hit 20 now, 20 different games.
Unicorn Glitter Luck is going to fall off your board?
Unicorn Glitter Luck is coming off the board. Haba is going to send me an email.
Man,
Haba, send me an email. beansanddice
you
@gmail.com.
are a bad father.
Yeah. SETI better not be hitting 20. Okay.
SETI will not hit
all right,
20. SETI is going. It is a really good
You'll see SETI
game.
up here, number 1 on my side. Just say.
See, I don't know, Rob. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
I haven't played it. I haven't played it yet, so I can't judge. But
it's
from what
good.
it seems just such a long game, though.
It's good.
But and you know what I haven't stopped doing since that? Like watching every space launch.
Oh, yeah.
Since playing
Yeah,
SETI.
you're messaging me. I've been watching them for years, and then you've been messaging me. Hey, did you catch that one last night? Oh no, there was a space launch, shuttle launch last night.
I'm watching all these satellites being dispersed, and I'm like, oh man, I want to play some more SETI.
It's
It
good.
is right.
You
It
need to
is
get a big
quickly rising.
4-player game of it. I think it sings at 3 and 4, even though it's longer. It's one of those games.
See, right now I'm gonna put it at 11. I'm gonna put it at 11 between Endeavor: Age of Sail and Guild of Merchant Explorers, and the reason is oh man, but I like it better than Trekking. I do like it better than Trekking.
Need to play trekking.
But see, Trekking can be played so quickly. It is
trade-offs,
making
decisions.
I will need to play SETI again.
Okay.
It is.
Well, let's play it because I want to play it again. I
It's
played
on
it
the
twice
list.
now.
It's on the
but I
list.
want-
SETI,
I want-
It's on the
SETI and
list.
Galactic Cruise are my next two that I really want.
We got to get Wayne. Wayne next week.
Yeah.
SETI here next week.
Yeah, I can do it.
Oh, SETI.
Who
Yeah.
owns
Yeah.
SETI?
Let's do it.
I do.
Carlos
Oh,
has it.
okay. I
Yeah.
can come next Thursday.
Do SETI here next week. Next,
All right, so let's go through my list. This is my update for March of 2025 games played. My number one. Do we go backwards? How do I do this?
It don't care. It don't
My
matter.
number 20, Castle Combo. Number 19, Trio. Number 18 is Palm Island. Number 17 is Catan Jr. Number 16 is Battle Line. 15 is Warfighter, NAM. 14 is Finspan. 13 is Mandalorian Adventure. 12 is Guild of Merchant Explorers. 11 is SETI. 10 is Endeavor, Deep Sea. 9 is Fellowship of the Ring, the trick-taking game. 8 is Lost Cities. Coming in at number 7, Trekking History. Number 6, Hero Quest. All of it. Like
The whole big stack of it.
all of it.
Taller than Rob.
Oh man. Number 5, Flip 7 deserves to be in that spot for a long time. Number 4, Captain Flip. Taught it to my boy,
Okay.
my older boy, who doesn't ever ask me to play anything. Guess who came out last night at 10 something at night and said,
Can we play Flip 7?
can we play Captain Flip?
Oh, Captain Flip. Oh, sorry.
He
I thought
wanted
you
to
said
play
Flip 7.
Captain
Captain
Flip.
Flip. Oh,
Nice.
wow.
And
It's a
then
good
and then
game. I don't know
today,
about that, but-
cooking dinner, you know what he says to me? He starts talking to me about Captain Flip, right? And the differences between the tactics and the strategies of deciding Captain Flip is a solid game.
It's
brother.
okay.
It's a solid game.
It might be a game I have to buy. Like I might need to get
Yeah.
a copy.
It's okay.
It's
You
fun.
can have it.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun.
Non-gamers and gamers agree.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Camel Up. Number 2, Ezra and Nehemiah. And then, which I'm currently wrapping up my Bible study on Ezra and Nehemiah.
Oh, it's time to play again.
And I just learned, like I was trying to figure out this whole thing where you like send a worker to the Levites, right? Like you pay a bread and you send them over there, but then from then on, you don't have to feed that person and you can use them to work. And apparently it's biblical. Like we went through over the part of the Bible where the firstborns are sent to the temple to work the temple. So everybody's got to send their firstborn, but you can ransom them back. You can pay a certain amount of I think it was like 3 shekels or something, and you can keep your kid. So,
Well, that's nice to have
that
the
tells
option,
you, like, okay, Julian, yeah, you
Wait
can
till
go to
they
the
come out and
temple.
see, yeah. Say, decide kid by kid. Which
That's
one's
one.
going?
That's one way to call your house down, right?
Yeah, there you go. Call the herd.
Right. But it's cool to, as I went through this 12-week Bible study now on Ezra and Nehemiah, learning where Shem really dug deep into the biblical history to make his mechanism. So very cool. Sorry, I got jammed up, y'all. My number 1 and Purple Haze, the RPG
Still up there?
fighting / combat / story driven game.
It'll be
All
up
right.
there until he gets his own copy, and then it'll
Yes.
Yeah.
plummet from there.
That's Carlos.
Could be.
Good
All
one.
right. We've talked about a lot of mine already, although I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new games going on my
Ooh.
list out of
Damn.
those 18 that I played. So lots of
7.
good games in the last month. So I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly, although we're not doing too bad on time.
Yeah.
So let me just grab some stuff off that I know it's going to come off the board. So Trio is coming off.
You
That
can't
was-
help but clean
yeah,
up, can you?
That was kind
You
of a
can't just
joke.
let it
No,
happen
no,
naturally.
Nope. We're going to do this in an organized fashion. And it's actually bothering me here that somebody's made all mine crooked, but we'll fix those as we go. Anyway, Trio at number 20. That was kind of a funny thing because I left 19 open and put Trio at 20. That's how long that was going to stay on there. So
It was a matching game. What'd you
bye,
expect?
Trio. Bye-bye. The next 2 were ones that I had kind of mentioned before. These are campaign games that I'm playing. I love them. They would always be at the top of the list. I never had ranked them before, so I put them down at the bottom just because I knew that I'm always going to love them, but I want them to off the list. I don't think they really belong on this list. Big, 200-hour campaign games. So
You love men.
do it.
Janine, how many campaign games you play.
Yeah, I do. I'm in 3 or 4 right now. But anyway, so Frosthaven and Arkham Horror, the card game, both going to slide off the list, although they are forever in my hearts. Nick made a joke on that about in the Discord today or yesterday that I hadn't mentioned those or something, and a tear in the eye. And I said, well, they're in my hearts. So you
Now
know
you broke
I'm
his
not-
heart.
Yes, I play them almost every week. So those are great games. Patterns, currently at 16, little abstract matching game, a lot of fun. I don't usually put abstracts on my list at all. This may be really the first abstract game that's ever been on my list. So that's what I think, how highly I think of it. But again, it's coming off. It was on there for a few weeks, a few months. So good stuff. And then Harvest, I think, is the last one that's coming off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, actually, one more. Harvest is going to come off. I enjoy Harvest. I've played it a couple times now on BGA.
It's like a third of your list is gone from just
yeah.
a
So
month
he's
of
got, like,
March.
Cleaning house.
He had 7 new games. I had 6, so similar.
We played a lot of games. We played a lot of them together, so you're going to see some repeats. I won't jump into deep dives on all these, and then the last one, actually, this one does hurt a little bit. I'm getting into these that hurt. So Bunny Kingdom, this fell off your list, Wayne, and it's coming off my list. So
you play it again. That's all.
Probably. This was at 14, so it's just barely going to slide off because I'm putting 7 new ones on. But Bunny Kingdom, fun game, great, easy to learn. Different every time. 100 spaces on a map, and you're just drawing cards, drafting cards, and putting out bunnies. It's good
Carlos,
time.
you need to play Bunny Kingdom.
Oh, if you haven't played yet, you'd like
I've not
it.
yet
It's
played.
Super light, super easy, but lots of fun. So yeah, I really enjoy Bunny Kingdom. I'm going to go from the bottom up. So the new 20 on my list, Nucleum is currently at 13, so that's the highest one that's still on the list right now. But Guild of Merchant Explorers, for all the things Carlos said, great game. I talked a little bit about it there, but this game, the base game, the very first learning game that you start out of the box it's okay. It's not bad. It's kind of fun. But when you start adding some of the stuff, playing the different maps, playing some of the different cards, because each map has different goal cards that you bring out and play, really adds to the experience and keeps things fresh, mixes things up. And I think it is 6 different maps they have. I think they're 2-sided. I think there's 3 different
And
two-sided
all with
maps.
different mechanisms.
Yeah, they're all a little different, and they all are laid out differently. So you take different paths, try different things. Fun game. Rebirth is going to be the next one on my list. So I'm going to put Rebirth below Nucleum. I'm going to keep it down there. The thing, I really enjoyed Rebirth. Wayne talked quite a bit about this one, and so I'm not going to get into depth on it. I'm going to mimic, though, or mirror what the Dice Tower said about it, and I know some people are going to say I'm a lemming to the Dice Towers to some extent, but anyway, I do agree that there is a fair amount of luck in this, but I do agree with Wayne that in an hour, I'm okay with that, because from game to game, it can be very different. When you place next to it as a monastery, you get to draw a monastery card, and this is a stack of cards that are all in-game scoring. And they score based on having either control of an area or control of a castle or control of a monastery. And you can draw that halfway through the game and already have no chance of winning that. So there's times you're going to draw an in-game scoring card that is already out the window. And so that's you have to be okay with that luck, that you might get some bad luck. And then like Wayne said, as you draw the chips out of your bag, you may be looking for an energy chip because you need to connect your string of energy, because when you place one energy, you get 1 point. If you place another energy next to it, you get 2. On that next placement, the next one you get 3, so you score all 3 of them again, all 4 of them again. So you're trying to build these chains, and you just know that somebody's going to see you doing it, and they're going to put one in there to cut you off. So it's like, I need to draw another energy. I need to draw, and then sometimes you just can't draw what you need to draw to really get your score multipliers going.
So I think what we talked the 2 quick host rules is draw 2, keep 1 on those cards. But I think like during the course of the game, you're going to draw like 8 of them. And so if you get 1 or 2 that are dead and you score the other 6, that's pretty good. I think having draw 1 chip at the beginning of the game and then draw a second one and you have 2 to choose from. I do that with Carcassonne, and it really, I think, solves a lot of that issue. But for an hour, it doesn't matter.
Is it Ticket to Ride devastating? So like in Ticket to Ride, you draw that ticket that you cannot complete.
Not really.
You will now have negative points.
You don't lose the
It just means you don't get, like like each one of those cards will generally score you 3 to 5 points in a game. And you're going to score 90, 100, like anywhere from 80 to 100 is a good score. So 5 points maybe makes or breaks you, but you're going to draw 6 to 8 of those. Like
probably, yeah.
You can draw up to 8 of those monastery cards when you play against a monastery. I think there were 2 monasteries that I got blocked out from, so I couldn't even place near the monastery. So I only ended up drawing 6 of the 8 victory point cards, and I think I scored 4 or 5 of the 6. So Like, you don't have to score all 8 to win, So
Yeah, and it could. I mean, theoretically, you could get 0. You could either just choose to or get blocked out of all 8 monasteries, and you could
Right.
never draw an in-game. And that's not going to happen. You're going to
Yeah.
get 4 or 5 or 6 at
Yeah,
least, probably.
yeah.
But anyway, there is a fair amount
It's
of luck
good,
that can
yeah.
happen in it. So,
but it's a
yeah.
good game. It's fast.
Yeah, but it's
though,
it's
so.
good. It's quick, so I didn't mind it in an hour. Reset it, do it again. Fun game. Next one on my list is going to be Endeavor Deep Sea, and this one's going to slide up there a little bit. I enjoyed this one quite a bit.
Whoop.
You're going to notice on the side, if you can see up here, Endeavor Age of Sail is in my Hall of Fame. So we're messing with one of my favorite titles here of all time, and so that makes things kind of tough. Yeah, Wormspan's definitely going to slide. Boone Lake is definitely going to slide. I enjoyed Boone Lake, but so right now we're looking at Nucleum, Australia. I played with the Australia expansion at 18, Wormspan 17, Boone Lake sliding down to 16. Draft and Write Records, that's gonna slide. It's so hard to rank a roll and write or a draft and write game versus something like Endeavor Deep Sea, but I think Endeavor Deep Sea is going to hit my list right now at 14. I've played twice now. I'm not talking into the mic here, but I played twice. This second one was definitely better than my first play, just because I started understanding what was going on.
Even though it's just the 2 of us?
Yeah, even though it was just 2. I do think the game's probably better at 3 and 4, and we kind of talked about it afterwards, that you're going to see more tiles. You're going to see more stuff. Stuff's going to fill up
More
faster.
exploration.
Right, there's going to be more exploration, but the tiles are going to fill up faster, so you're going to have to move around more. You're going to have to explore more. You're going to have to do more things. But I think that's fine. It's going to make the game longer, because it's every player you add is going to add. I think the game even advertised like 45 minutes per player or something. So it's definitely going to exponentially add on. There's no simultaneous play or anything.
I think 30 per player.
Is it 30 per player maybe?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
what's great about that, I love the commentary on the multiplayer versus 2-player.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we both know that Age of Sail, Endeavor Age of Sail, significantly
Sure.
drops off at 2-player.
Yeah,
like the
it's-
enjoyment of the game is like, why do we even do this?
Yeah.
Whereas
I wouldn't-
Endeavor Age of Sail, or Endeavor Deep Sea, I was like, oh man, this game was so much fun even at 2.
Yeah, I like Endeavor Age of Sail either on the 2-3 player board at 3 players, or the 4-5 it was 3-4-5 player board at 4 or 5. So at the higher 2 player counts on each side of that board. But yeah, 2's bad, and 3 on the 3-4-5 player board is bad.
This is great for the folks at home to know, because some people only have their partner to play with.
Yeah.
For the most part. So this is, I would tell you, even if you're just playing 2, Endeavor Deep Sea is an option.
Yeah, it was good. So I like more plays. It'll probably move up my list, but it's hard. I'm not ready to compare which one I like better. They are different games by far. I think,
It's like it's similar system, but I don't know if they're going to end up being compared.
Yeah, it's hard to compare them. So anyway, but I've still enjoyed my Age of Sail up there in my Hall of Fame. So my next one's Korra: Rise of an Empire. So that one's going to go on there. All right. So now we're getting into the top 10 here. We got Dune Imperium Bloodlines. Dune Imperium Bloodlines was not my favorite, and so I am going to, because it was with the Bloodlines expansion, and that's the only way I've played it this year, I'm going to slide that down. Although, again, you're going to see Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising here in my Hall of Fame. So
Dune Imperium is in your Hall of Fame.
right. So
how do you-
Bloodlines, again, I think when I
Oh,
put
I
that on
guess
there,
you-
it
yeah,
was
I
just
wouldn't-
with the Bloodlines expansion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I probably wouldn't even ranked it then if it was in my Hall.
Probably
Wayne does a
Yeah.
lot of slashes. He likes to,
No,
together,
well,
yeah.
because the base game is Dune. It's just Dune
Yeah.
with Dune's in my Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is I'm not telling you how to rank it. How do you rank it?
sure,
I'm just
sure,
saying
yeah.
this is how I would. I probably wouldn't even put it on my list. Then,
And it
you know,
may come
that's-
off for that reason at
Yeah.
some point. At some point, I
Yeah.
may just peel it off there and be done with it. But
Yeah.
if it keeps sliding, it
Yeah,
may
I wasn't a
slide
fan
off
of
anyway.
Bloodlines either, so I'm with there. It was okay.
Yeah, I think it made it not as fun a game. So I prefer it without. It just added a little extra that didn't really need to be there. So, in my opinion. But Korra: Rise of an Empire. So now we're up to Sky Team. I'm going to put Korra below it. I did like Korra, and again, I need to play Korra more. I played it twice, and like I say, I've lost miserably both times I played it, but I feel like I played it wrong. So I want to play it right. So maybe Carlos and I, and maybe Wayne, if you want to try it again, we'll break it out here and play it
I
sometime.
enjoyed it. It was on my
Yeah.
top 20. It fell just off,
Mhm.
but I know that it's hard to rank it based on one play.
Yep.
So
But
yeah, I
it's,
want
it's
to play it again.
fun. The component quality. Carlos mentioned that when he got it, the dual layer boards that it comes with. I picked it up on Amazon for a steal. He got it for almost the same steal. I mean, it's going now for under $20, I think. So yeah, it's for that price, there's no doubt was an insta buy for me just going into the collection. So
you can check the YouTubes. I posted pictures of when I opened it up, the box. because I really was curious about the component quality. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's good quality. Okay, next, this is a big one for me, and we've talked about FinSpan a decent amount. We've talked about WormSpan a little bit. We've talked about the other span, Wingspan quite a bit. Yeah, I almost dropped it, so I was sidetracked there for a minute. But FinSpan, I might have mentioned before, I think this is my favorite span, and theme does a lot for me. The ease of play, the quickness of the play. I like FinSpan a lot.
I do too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
going to
like
be
it
up
a
here.
lot.
It's going to slide up above. Sky Team for me. Sky Team's going down to 11. Clank Legacy Season 2. I'm going to slide down to 10. Obsession. Ooh, now we're messing around with Wayne's number
with
1
real
here.
games.
Yeah, that's good.
So-
But
Now we're into the real games.
FinSpan, WormSpan, FinSpan, Wingspan was like 3 or 4 or 5 in that. They were close. So yeah, I'm with you.
yeah.
I
I'm going to put. Oh, go ahead.
sorry,
I'm going to put it at 9. I'm just going to slap it up there at 9. But go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think we could do the beans on this next week, maybe, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I haven't played it
I've
solo
been
yet.
enjoying
At
it.
least 3
I
of
haven't
us.
played it
can-
solo.
Okay, we need to try it solo.
We do got it.
Yeah. Oh, it's. Let me tell you, you guys will do it solo in 30, 40 minutes.
Okay. Maybe
Super
maybe-
fast. It is.
Well,
You'll set it
so
up in 5 minutes.
solo
and play it 30.
together.
Well, I was waiting. What is this, Final
We'll
Girl?
sit here together and just
What
play
is this,
solo
Final
games.
Girl? No, it
it's
got
so easy
me because of the how good the game is. It got me to spend time designing and cutting my own egg tokens because I just could not stand.
Little bouncy
I love the
balls.
deluxe fish, the young.
Yeah.
I
I
love
don't
the
like.
deluxe
I
schools.
don't like the little squishy ball. I don't like the eggs.
Everdale blueberry style bouncy balls. My fat fingers, they go flying.
You don't like bouncing those all over the room? No?
No, because I have small children. I'm worried I'm going to find them in diapers because they ate them all. So I'm going acrylic flat tokens.
Okay.
I think.
And I made a set for each of you guys.
All right. Yeah, we'll
All
see
right.
how those work out.
So maybe next week we do beans of this. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's commit to getting the solo play this week,
Okay.
and then we can beans it up next week for all of us.
And if you have not played WormSpan, neither one of y'all played WormSpan.
I haven't played WormSpan, but I'm gonna maybe play it this weekend if I can.
Okay. I say if y'all can get WormSpan played, then we can do a big comparison of the 3 of them also. So
I know we're going a little long on the FinSpan thing, but man, what I'm really enjoying about it is I just haven't grasped the combo-ness yet. Like I see it there, but I haven't figured out how to trigger it. My wife keeps destroying me in the game.
Oh yeah. So she's figured it out.
Right. Right. So it's
Shock,
that
yeah.
tapestry feel of I'm watching others do well at it and I'm not. So there's something here I want to grasp. So
Gotta
it
figure it
gives
out.
me it's that carrot. It's that golden ring I'm chasing after. There's something here. I never walked away from FinSpan saying, "Oh, this is too simple."
Yeah.
I expected
No,
you to
it-
say that. I'm
No,
surprised
no,
we
no,
are.
no,
we are
I like
I
it,
think
yeah.
that the difference between FinSpan and Wingspan is like it's kind of not really even that much of a difference.
The complexity, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
can't.
close.
I don't see a difference really in the complexity. Like it's so close. And it's just the
Yeah.
setup and play.
But I
Spoiler,
feel it's
I think
got
we're
a
gonna
little,
rate it pretty highly.
there's a little more difficulty with it for me because you can send cards to the discard that you know you will get back.
That's
So
what I love. I love
it
that.
just it adds that
So good.
complexity of like, well, what do I bring back with what I have that I can combo and
But now I don't have to
Good
worry
stuff.
about throwing away cards, right? Like I'm gonna throw away this card, but I know I can get it back later. I love that.
Yeah.
all right,
So
we'll get
good.
deeper into that one. Good
Yeah,
call.
next week. Yep.
Yeah. We'll do more FinSpan.
I'm
So-
at 14, you're at 9, and Wayne is
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Okay, well,
the span
double
verse.
check.
few more plays,
Yeah.
especially if it's good at solo, it'd probably move up again for me. So it's going to have lots of opportunities to get played and go up, I think. So my next one, Underwater Cities, I'm holding it here in my hand. So this one was fairly high on my list, if I remember, at the end of last year. This is one I'm late to the party on. It's been out for a while. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, I don't.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Which one? Which game?
Underwater Cities.
Oh, okay.
Underwater Cities. So yeah, I was making sure it wasn't in my Hall of Fame, which I knew it wasn't, but I just wanted to be sure. But anyway, so kids, after I played this, Jim then taught me the base, and then he taught me the expansion. And as soon as I played the expansion, the kids for Father's Day went out and got me the expansion because I was talking about it so much. So a game I'm really liking. Carlos and Wayne, have you never played this yet either? Have you? Or did you submarines,
I have.
worker placement, tableau
No, I have.
building?
It's got the
Oh,
little
you know what I'm
bubbles,
thinking?
right? The little half bubbles.
Yeah, building a little city underwater. Yep, little domes.
You're building cities underwater?
Yeah, cities underwater.
In underwater cities?
Really?
No.
What?
I think you guys would both love this with your liking of worker placement, of tableau building and triggering things that trigger other things.
No, I
And
haven't.
then
I was thinking of Aquasphere. So no, I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
This one.
No, yeah, this one, another one. We got to play this sometime here. We got to get a game of it together, and I'll bring it. And yeah, I'd love to teach this. So underwater cities going pretty high here. Oh, so now we're looking at Obsession, man. All right, Wayne, I like
Fine.
Obsession.
It's all good. I know you
a
like it. It's all
lot,
good.
But yeah,
This
that's
is
gonna.
Hey,
you know,
I think anything in the top 10 is like, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 10. That means it's really good gameplay, really good game.
yep. Obsession going to 8, Federation to 7. Ooh, Maracaibo to 6.
Now you're hurting
Ooh.
Wayne's feelings.
Yeah,
Ah.
now I'm getting out there.
Those
making a
are
little
three.
bunch of
Those
them.
are 3 big ones for me right there. Boom, boom.
Railroads. So I played Ultimate Railroads this year. That's why that's up there. But I'm kind of lumping that with I'll do the kind of the slash all the railroad games.
Russian
those
Railroads, yeah.
Russian and Ultimate. Ooh, this is getting where it hurts a little bit. I'm gonna put it over Ultimate or the Railroads. Yeah.
Ooh.
I love how
That
the
means
folks
you
at
have.
home
That means
can
you have
watch
2
this
more that are
real
even
time.
higher
Yeah,
than that. Like
Watch
that's
the
what's crazy.
viewers
Is
time.
like as high as this is going, you have 1 or 2 more that are going to be even higher than this.
Yeah, I got one more in my hand here.
One more.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Underwater Cities is going to hit at 4. Ultimate Railroads or the Railroads are going to 5. Last 2 I got up there. 1 is SETI, 2 is Purple Haze. So the last one on this little tiny chit,
Hey, watch your mouth.
chit thing that I cut out here.
Oh,
Ostia.
okay. There we go.
So
Okay.
Ostia. This is the big one here. So where did this end up on yours? This was 2 or 3 on yours, Wayne?
2. It was number 2
2.
for me.
Okay, it's going to go above Purple Haze, I think.
Yeah.
So
Come on. It's
Purple-
got to be number 2 or 1 even above SETI.
That's the hard
This
part.
is
Is
the tough
this
part
is this
right
better
here.
than SETI? I've played SETI twice. I've played Ostia once. I'm
If I-
going
so
to put Ostia 2.
If,
Oh, go ahead,
right.
Wayne.
I was gonna say right now, if I gave you both games, which one are you playing?
I think
It puts the game in the basket or it gets the
Like,
hose.
Rob, you can
Which
play
one
one
do
of
you
these
get-
tonight. Which
do
one are
get?
you playing?
well, that question is a little bit of a trick question because I've played SETI twice and I've only played Ostia once, and I want to play Ostia again. Now that I know how to play it, I would say Ostia tonight. But I think once I played both
okay.
of them 3 or 4 times, I think probably SETI. But I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. Ostia is
I don't
good.
know.
So that's
Ostia
tough for
to me is like
Yeah, it's got it.
yeah, it's good because it's like it reminds me so much of Concordia
Yeah,
and
Crusaders.
and then what's the other one? The not Foundations of Rome. What's the other one that Carlos loves that he had it's the Roman one where you're moving. My brain.
Caesar. No.
No.
It's not Crusaders That Will Be Done. That's the
No, it's Roman, and it's you're expanding out through Rome, and you're placing
Mosaic.
mosaic. Maybe it's mosaic. Yeah, maybe mosaic. Like
that's the Civ Builder
Tags collecting.
yeah,
collect-
yeah,
like-
mosaic. It was mosaic.
Okay, Mosaic.
Like, I know it's not necessarily a good comparison, but like playing
Still the
Ostia,
same
I'm
region,
thinking mosaic.
connecting
I'm thinking
cities.
Concordia. I'm thinking all those games. I'm just like, oh, so good.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, well,
Ostia, as much as I love Obsession, I think if I played Ostia a few more times, it might make number 1 on my list this year. Just that might be. I really love that game. Like I was so mad playing this game at TGG, Carlos. Like literally, Daryl did a great teach, and we played like the first round, and I'm like, okay, I got my strategy that I'm going to go with, and I'm pissed. I am so mad that I didn't back this. Like I was so close to backing that game multiple times on Kickstarter, and I'm like, I have so many other games. I don't know if this is gonna be that good. No, I'm not gonna back it, and I'm just so mad right now.
If it's good, it should come out.
Yeah, it'll come out. Yeah, exactly. It's getting US release.
Oh,
this
there's
year,
no
so,
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
I was just reminding myself that you won that. You beat me. I came in second. So
Yeah. So yeah, Chris did say he's available to call in now, but he wanted to hear Rob's list first. So
Oh, okay. Well, it's
Online's-
done. So SETI number 1 for me right now. Ostia number 2, and then my Hall of Fame brass: Birmingham, Orleans, Transforming Mars. Or Terraforming Mars, Transforming Mars, Terraforming Mars, Transformers on Mars, Dune Imperium, Uprising,
Roll out.
and then Endeavor, Age of Sail, Tyrants of the Underdark. So that's my Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
all right, Chris, call in if you want, man. We got.
It's open.
Phone line
We'll
is
go,
still
we'll go,
open. You
we'll
got
go a
2
little late
minutes.
tonight. You guys
Got
okay? We're
30
going a little late
seconds.
tonight. Yeah.
There it is.
And it's official. We're going late tonight. Beans and Dice podcast. Chris, thanks for calling.
All right. Well, thank you.
This is Chris. Yeah, thank you guys for staying up a little bit later tonight.
you're
I
good.
just wanted to hear Rob's list. I don't want to interrupt it.
Oh, I appreciate
too
that.
Good to interrupt.
Okay. So you approve? You think it's all right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I love that Ultimate Railroads is on there because that's one of my favorite. I've not played Ostia, but I've heard great things. I know the Dice Tower loves it, and it's just hard to get a copy. I don't.
Yeah,
I'd love to try it sometime.
Yeah, it's solid. It's really good.
I'm trying not to think about it.
Yeah, just keep it in the back of your mind. Yeah, let it float.
I'm with you, Carlos.
Is it a Japanese company? Is that
Yeah.
right? Or I'm trying to remember. I know
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes. Yeah. But it is going to be
and they
released
made
here to
another
States this
game. I
year,
think
so.
that's really good. That'll be good.
Wayne's going to look it up. But what you got going on for us?
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about Dice Throne missions because I've been playing a lot with my son.
Okay, yep.
I've really been digging it. It's a very clean system. I think it's the cleanest system for any kind of cooperative campaign type game. You can do one-offs, but it has this level progression system where you kind of level up your characters a little bit. You get these little skill points to spend between missions. So it does have the campaign kind of feel, and there's roughly 22, I believe, missions total in the game, all different bosses. But basically what you have is you have these laminated sheets. They're 3 pages each, and they're double-sided. And on the first side, you have, a little map that you're navigating through. There's little henchmen, basically, for the main villain. And there'll be a particular objective that you need to solve to complete this side of the map. There's also sometimes secondary objectives where you can get like a perfect score. If you're able to do the primary objective and a secondary objective, then you score like a perfect score and you get more skill points at the end. So basically you get through that map. You don't have to necessarily defeat all the henchmen. If you do, you can get like bonus rewards, but you just basically get through it. You complete the objective. Then you take the map and you flip it over to the other side. On that side, you get to fight the villain. And every map has a different villain, which I love. And then they all have a different, types of attacks, and everything is written out for all the henchmen, all the villains. You have all of their attacks, what they do, and you roll. It's got this clean system where you roll basically 4 dice, and then it's like 1 additional die per player. So if you're playing it solo, you roll 4 dice for the enemy during the enemy's phase. And then the furthest to the left is the most powerful attack the enemy can do. And if you happen to roll that for the enemy, then they're going to do a lot more damage. And then the next one is a little bit less damage. And then the next one is a little bit less. So there's 3 possible attacks that the enemy can do to you. And you just roll to see which one kicks off, which I think is really clean. And then the same with the henchmen on the main, the first side I was telling you about. You roll their dice, and then you see which henchmen's trigger. So you kind of go down, and it might be 2 of them attack you. It might be 3 of them attack you. But what's cool is there's range and melee, and each attack will tell you whether it's a melee attack or range. If it's a melee attack, obviously you have to be within their range, which is adjacent to that enemy. If it's a ranged attack, they can hit you from anywhere. But you have the ability to also attack from range by spending this, it's a currency called momentum. So it's kind of like your CP, like if you play Dice Throne, it's another like CP type thing, but it's just used for making ranged attacks. It's also used for recruiting allies. You can recruit like Captain America, you can recruit, whoever, just all these different characters that are in the game, they're allies, and they're permanent abilities that you have with them. And there's also a 1-shot exhaust ability that you're forced to discard that ally when you do it, but it's usually pretty powerful. Like Colossus, you can discard him and it prevents 6 damage, but he'll let you prevent 2 damage every turn if you roll like 2 of a kind. That would be an example in Colossus. And then some of them do damage, some of them help you defend. So you're able to recruit these allies with momentum. You're able to attack the enemy in range with momentum. Then, as the game goes on, you can upgrade your cards that let you spend points on momentum. So you start at level 1, and there's a level 2 momentum card, level 3 momentum, 4, 5, and as the game goes on, you have more options how you spend those momentum points, which is really cool. So, but in a nutshell, you're going through the map. It tells you what to do. You roll the dice for the enemy. You get to go first. Then you roll for the enemy. Then there's this clock that goes around the board. And man, its components is incredible. It's magnetic.
I was just thinking what you said. Like I'm flipping through the pictures, and in my head, I'm like, man, Roxley just does a beautiful job with their components.
That's normal.
Roxley,
Yeah.
come on.
And I was literally looking at the Crisis clock as you brought it up, just looking at it like their UI, their user interface, their graphical like style.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah, it's so clean. You know what everything does because the map will tell you everything that the board does. And it will tell you the whole mission, what's going on, what you need to do, what the enemies are trying to accomplish. It is the cleanest system, like I said, cooperative system that has a campaign element I have ever seen. Everything is so legible. These are huge boards. I mean, they're, like I said, they're 3 pages, double-sided. Everything's fully colored, laminated. I mean, gosh, it amazes me. And so we're just going through it. We've done the first 3 missions. And we're just going to go through the whole thing. And I love it. My son loves it. It's just so much fun. And I've been playing Storm. He's been playing Gambit. We really like our characters. The first game we played different characters, and we just tried to switch it. And then now we just love our characters so much we don't want to stop. So we're just going to stick with Storm and Gambit for the foreseeable future, I should say.
Got you hooked in.
And then on the villain side, basically you just have to do enough damage to knock out the villain. Very straightforward. Once the villain's at 0 health, you win. But the villain has a super nasty crisis clock. Some of the villains are worse than others, but every time that clock turns, the villain's going to get a buff or something, or they'll have a potential to get a buff. Like you might have to roll some dice, and they might get shields for every, say, 1, 2, or 3 you roll. They'll get a shield, and shield prevents 3 damage. And you can also get shields on yourself. And then that protects them for 3 damage. They can have multiple shields. And you roll 1 die per player. So it's got great scaling. I mean, you have less health. Everybody starts with less health. There's more players in the game. If there's less players in the game, you start with more health. So you start at 30 health in a 2-player game. You'll start at, like, I haven't played it solo, but I believe it's probably like 35 or 40 in a solo. And then it reduces from there, like in 3 players, maybe it's 25, and then maybe 4 players, 20. But you can heal. You can always go 10 over your maximum health or what your starting health is. You can go 10 over that. But it's clean. The production value is incredible. Also, just the characters. We got the minis, the full colored minis, and they look incredible. The sculpts on those minis look awesome.
Wow.
So we got those. We're moving around the board, and everything's just there. You don't have to, like, once you know the base game of the rules, you just read whatever's on there, and then you follow it, and then it's just so straightforward. You don't have to get the rule book out. Now, the only thing you have to reference is there is a reference guide on the back of the rule book that has all the status effects, what all the tokens mean, because there's a lot of tokens.
Yes.
And some of them you'll know if you played the base game. There's some new ones they add, and you just have to read what it does, and it takes you a few seconds, and that's it. I mean, it's so straightforward, but it's a lot of fun. So.
Now, I was worried because this game already sprawls like each player's like menu of options. Like we'll call it a menu. I feel like I'm at Fuddruckers or something. I'm busting out my menu, and that sprawls out pretty big. I was worried about the amount of board space taken, but what I did notice is on these trifolds that you were talking about, they don't seem to be very large, but it also means that the amount of spaces you're moving around aren't very large. Did you notice anything negative about, the limitations of the size of these maps?
Not really, because one of the things that keeps it interesting is you put these little acrylic tokens out every game. And they're on both sides of the board, and they give you bonuses. So when you land on a spot with one of these acrylic tokens, you'll get, say, 3 health, 4 health. You'll get +1 CP, +1 momentum, +3. There's a +3 damage one. So you're wanting to pick these up because they're helping you. They're making your character stronger. You might need to heal. You might need to get the health. So you're moving around picking these things up, and then you're using the range to attack the units from distance so they can't hit you. If you know they're melee, you might want to stay away from, especially if there's 2 or 3 of them near each other, and then you can try to attack them from a distance. So you might want to pick up some momentum. So it's very tactical. And
Now,
so
it looks like the baddies are printed
uh-huh.
on the board. Like the baddies are printed on the board. So they're not maneuvering.
Correct.
They're not moving.
Correct. Yeah, they're stationary. They never move, and you just put their health on there. So it'll tell you how much health each baddie has. You'll put these health tokens on there, and then as you're dealing damage to them, you just remove health tokens and you exchange them for maybe lower number ones. It's very clean. And then eventually when they're knocked out, you get this tile you put there, and it gives you 2 momentum that you can distribute between the players. You can take all of it. If you're the starting player, you can take all 2, or you could split it up 1 and 1, or you could give someone else 2 and you get nothing. And I like that. So every enemy you defeat, you get a little bonus for doing it. And that momentum helps you recruit allies and do more ranged attacks. And I just like that they added the whole melee range thing into it. Makes it more interesting, more tactical. And that enemies sometimes will attack you range, sometimes they'll attack you melee. Sometimes they could do both, depending on what you roll. They might have an option for both, like the bosses sometimes can attack range and melee. And so, but you can avoid the melee if you're not adjacent to them. So it's very tactical.
Nice.
And it reduces the amount of upkeep you've got to do on the AI side if you don't have to worry about moving. I know that becomes one of the most complicating factors of any cooperative adventure game is how the baddies move can get really complicated.
Who do they target? Where do they go? What do they focus on? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they don't even move. It's just easy. You just roll the dice to see how they attack, and they also have a defensive ability. And so when you attack them, they might hit you back. Like Doc Ock, every time you hit him, he deals 2 damage to you, basically. So, which makes sense with his tentacles. You know, he's hitting you with his tentacles, and it's thematic. And then certain ones, this one we fought the other day was a dinosaur. It was Sauron was the main boss, and we had a dinosaur on the other side. It was just 2 bosses, basically, a giant dinosaur and then Sauron, which is very unique. But the dinosaur was interesting. Every time you hit him, you put the status token on him, and it would reduce his damage by 2 for every status token he has on him. So the more you hit him, it's just like a stun token, something like a stun token. But every time he has a token, he reduces damage by 2, but he starts at like 16 damage per attack. Insane. So like you could just get leveled in a couple turns, you know, if you're not careful. But with this one, you get to go first, right? So you're going to reduce his damage by at least 2 to 4, you know, depending on whether it's solo or 2-player game. And then it's reduced, so he's only doing like 12 damage. But then the more you hit him, the weaker he gets. So it's just everyone is completely different. And the way your objectives are different. And I've not played this so far a mission that's exactly the same, and they're very different. They're not even close to the same. And the status tokens are different. Like for instance, I'll give you a good example. Mr. Sinister, he likes to drain. So there's a lot of, you know, draining your health because he's a vampire, right? And so it's thematic. So he's draining health. He's able to heal a lot more. He didn't start with as much health, but he's able to steal your health. And so every villain is thematic for what they would do in the comic books. So it's just fantastic. So if you guys like, I know not everyone's a big cooperative fan, but if you guys like cooperative games, it's definitely worth trying out. I think you'd like it. And the components are gorgeous, obviously.
And since we're talking Dice Throne, but we remiss, I think, if we don't jump over to the 2 big recent announcements. Have you been keeping up with it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
We're talking about Roxley, Dice Throne announcements?
Yeah, Dice Throne announcements. They've had a few. They were talking about them, I know, on Dice Tower today. Yeah. One being that the individual players now, they're going to come out with a series of just, I guess in the past, when you bought them, bought them in groups of, was it 3 or 4? 2, 3, 4, yeah, okay, whatever the package.
2 minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now they're going to be doing individuals, so they're going to release everything, just a single package at a time. We may have talked about that before. And then the other big thing they have announced now is organized play. They're coming up with a nationwide system for organized play, and they're supposedly going to put a pretty big push on it. They're going to kind of try to blow this up and make this a big thing with tournaments and prizes, exclusives, promos, all that good stuff, like they did when we played X-Wing or whatever.
Oh man, that sounds nice.
Yeah, they're going to turn that into a thing. So yeah, so didn't know if you'd heard about or you had any opinions on any of that yet.
Yeah, I did see they have a new CEO, and he talked about that. I do remember them mentioning that. And I'm excited because they said they're going to release content more frequently because of this change.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have to wait like for instance, we waited a year and a half for this one. Now, granted, their last one I did season 2 didn't take that long, but they had a thing with their sculpt where they wound up changing it because fans wanted it changed. It was Deadpool, and it wound up delaying the whole thing like 3 or 4 months. So with this, they can release stuff faster. It's cheaper, so it's easier. You're not investing so much money up front,
right?
And then especially for people coming into the game that have never played it, it's much more accessible that way.
Sure.
Chris, have you ever been a part of an organized play system?
Yeah, back in the day, I played Magic the Gathering. Back in the day, it was like 2nd edition, Magic the Gathering 2nd edition. I was organized play around the time in 3rd edition. Actually, I think 3rd edition is more when I played it. I think I was on the tail end of 2nd edition. So yes, I have done Magic the Gathering. I think it's the only one Oh no, I did Marvel Dice Throne too. Not Marvel Dice Throne, Marvel Dice Masters.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Dice Masters organized play. I've done that as well.
I remember that one. That was a good one.
That was fun. Yeah, I still got my bag of dice.
Yeah, I got my satchel of dice.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yep.
And what I loved about the organized
have
play, for a lot of board gamers, they don't really understand it. Like they haven't. It's more of a miniatures or collectible gaming thing, but when they support it well, which I imagine Roxley will, it's the content that you're able to win or the door prizes that you go home with,
The promos
tend to be like custom
dice.
tokens, custom dice, right? Custom characters or cards that are special in a way, foil or alternate artwork, and that feeling of collecting that stuff keeps you coming back each week for the next game. I look forward to feeling that again because I'm definitely not doing it with Magic the Gathering.
No.
Yeah, you think
Super
that would be
competitive,
something you'd dabble in, Chris? Has that got you interested in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because my son likes it too. I mean, we could go together, at some point.
Yeah.
He would be on board with that. But even if he, wasn't interested, I'd be interested in that because I think it's fun. And, you're dealing with some luck, but you're dealing with some tacticalness too. So it's not all skill based where you have the person with the best deck or best this or that, is going to have the best chance to win. And I like that. You have a good chance to beat any character in the game. It's pretty balanced, I think, overall.
I was going to ask you how you thought about the balance between the different characters and stuff. So you think it's pretty good in the balance?
I think so. I feel like they've really improved the balance in season 1. They've just worked on that, and every iteration's been better on the balance. With Marvel, I think for the most part, there's a really good balance. The only person I don't really like is Black Panther. I feel like Black Panther's kind of weak, but I'm sure somebody out there is good with them. But I just find he's kind of weak compared to the other ones in Marvel. But for the most part, everybody's pretty balanced.
Cool.
They just have different strategies, different play styles.
Cool. Yeah, Rochambeau. It depends on what you bring and what the other guy brings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well,
that's pretty much
I know
it.
you did a breakdown video. I believe it was a full unboxing on Pop and Tot.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can they find that on YouTube?
Just go Pop and Tot Games, do a search on YouTube, and they can take a look at it and check out all the components.
Beautiful. Well, we appreciate you continuing to contribute in more ways than just call in. We get to play some games on BGA.
Oh, yeah.
We get to chat about games, using the Discord chat, and get to talk to you over the phone. Much appreciated, man.
Nice to hear from you.
Well, same
From
here, guys. Look forward to the next show, and Wayne and all you guys. You guys are a blessing, so I appreciate you and what you do.
Absolutely.
Glad to hear it.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Chris.
Night.
All right.
Night.
Good night.
So,
Our man, Pop and Tot.
Yeah, Pop and Tot. Let me share my screen real quick. So, hey, look at that. That's the wrong screen.
Oh, hey, it's
Wrong screen.
Infinity.
That was the you got a view of the studio.
This one.
Behind the scenes.
So,
Rewind
Ostia.
it and freeze the screen.
Ostia's game company, and there's a reason why both
I saw that when you were
Amafi
scrolling.
and Amafi Resistance look a
Same
lot like
one?
Ostia, same company.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah,
It-
same
they look
company.
really similar.
Yeah, so same the publisher. So Amafi Mafia, Mafia Resistance, same company, and then they also did Aqua Garden, which I've heard about. I think I've heard some folks from Dice Tower talk about Aqua Garden being good. So, the other thing that I just randomly clicking through things as I was pulling up screens, Galactic Cruise is going to come to BGA soon.
Oh, wow. That's a heavy game for BGA. Wow.
The designer, we were in the early stages of having a BGA implementation of the game. So
sweet.
Yeah. So not necessarily soon, but it is coming to BGA.
Okay. Well, I want to play it in person as well. I want to see it on the table and play it on the table. But
I think that might be the game that I start with this Sunday. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I wish.
How much are you betting that it won't have a back button? An
undo button? Well, they better have some kind of undo.
Every game on BGA should have a back button unless you're flipping a card.
It should. Yeah.
Well, I love White Castle. Wayne.
Gonna go back to White Castle.
Yeah.
Carlos. BGA implementation
where did Wayne hurt you?
Has a back button, but it also has the warning button of you are about to draw a card.
Are you sure you want to do this?
You idiot? Sure want to do it? Yeah.
You dumbass.
Because if you draw this card, there's no back.
Clearly missing something. Like I I fully admit we were all good gamers, right? I'm not a bad gamer. But there's some games that I just I walked into that one. But there's something about that game I'm just not getting because I just don't end up like.
Well, I have a new challenge because I was the champ and now I'm getting like
you've
left
lost
behind
3 or 4 in a row. Yeah,
I don't need to lose. I don't care if I lose, but I like being like last sucks. So like I'm like, okay, what am I missing? So this time I'm trying some more of the field training grounds.
I do that. Yeah.
So it's that multiplication of your soldiers in the field training times the level of your courtiers courtesans in the castle, courtiers in the castle. And then I'm also trying to be more of a Robert on it. Like if I see you guys with
you got to block people.
When I see you guys with your people under the bridge, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just take all those dice.
Yeah, screw that.
Like if I have a chance to pull all the dice off that bridge, then I know you don't get the extra actions at the end of the round.
I read online somewhere where people were saying the bridge actions are overpowered, and I was like, well, there's an easy way to fix that. You just take the dice from those
bridge
overpowered
actions.
bridge
What do you
actions.
mean bridge actions?
If you place a farmer on the gardens at the end of the round, after all the dice have been plucked, leaving 3 behind, any gardeners left on a spot will activate again if they have a dice on their bridge. So if there's a chance to pluck all, like everybody huddled up in the top right or top left
that one
on
game.
the orange,
Yep.
and there was 1 dice left on the bridge. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw this thing on the well. I don't care because I'm just preventing you guys.
That may be something I'm missing. Because I'm not familiar with that. So I'm missing that.
We need to play in person again, or we'll play
clearly
on BGA
missing that.
Discord,
get on
walk through it.
live. Clearly missing that. Yeah, I finished a game with some people from another Discord server from probably some other podcast, and like we all finished, like in the 40s and 30s, 40s, 50s. Like I was like, someone was like 38, I was like 45, someone was like 48, and then like the person in first place was like 80, and I'm like, what? How? Like what? I just don't even get. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, it's good. Again, I still feel it's over too fast. I've gotten pretty good at it, I think, but it's still. I would like it to be another round or two. So,
let's see. The last game that we played, we ended off at.
Yeah, Nick got me in that one.
Oh, it is low scoring. I was at 34.
Woof.
With Wayne at 30, Rob at 55, and Nick at 56.
Yeah, I was close. He beat me by 1
point. So I was in last place. I don't.
It was after I won 2 in a row.
I'm clearly missing some rules or some gameplay from the BGA plays that
some strategy to it, right? Like I noticed I didn't do as much of the fields, the training ground fields, and you know what I don't normally do? I don't normally take the player board actions, where you gain resources, you have 6+ die.
Oh, yeah.
You gain resources, go across and gain more resources.
Yeah,
and then do the action on the other side. I'm starting to wonder, am I missing something? Because I mean, it's in front of you. It's on your player.
I don't
board.
do it a lot until later in the game. If I've cleared off a whole section, then I start looking at that and be like, okay, well now it's worth it. So if I can get most of them off there later in the game, sometimes I'll do that once or twice.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played one of the ones on my own board. Although I know it's there, I just didn't. Yeah. I never.
It's just that 6+ on it makes it like you.
But the whole so if at the end of a round, there's dice on the bridge.
He's gonna figure this out right now.
I'm trying to figure that out.
It's got him.
Like, what am I missing? I'm like, that is clearly something I've missed.
Yeah, at the complete end of the round, everyone who has a character, a
Those
farmer
farmers,
on
yeah.
a garden
Farmer
spot.
on the garden spot.
Yep, go in turn order. You will
Okay.
activate.
They all have different actions.
Okay.
And so yeah, you would activate that action.
Is that
if there's
kind
a
of?
die.
It's kind of automatic, right? Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
so
long
maybe
as
I'm
there's
missing.
dice on the bridge.
Right.
Maybe I'm just missing that BGA does it automatically. Okay.
Yes.
But that
I
has to
don't
be
know, does it
dice on
ask
the
you?
bridge. Okay.
I don't go heavy into the bridges, but does it ask you if you want to do that action? Or
No,
does
no,
it
I
just
think it
not-
asks you.
Okay,
It's
I think it does
automatically
too,
asks
doesn't
you,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So he says
All right.
automatic. Wayne was thinking maybe it just happened without him even.
Oh, because
knowing.
he's never there.
maybe not. If he's not putting guys over there, yeah, it's
Yeah.
passing you by.
You got no trolls under the
Well,
bridge.
no, that game you were talking about though, Carlos, where everybody was balled up in that left hand. I did not have anybody on any of the bridges, and so I'm glad you were helping me with that because I kept trying to take them from up there because I was like, I don't have anybody there anyway. I'm going to take all those
so we
dice.
were of one mind.
So yeah, me and you were doing the same thing,
Yeah,
even though we
yeah,
didn't
right.
realize it. But yeah, so I know Wayne was up there on that game because all three of you were up there, and I
Yeah.
was the only one who wasn't up there. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah, clearly missing something there. All right.
yeah,
I have to play with that next time.
yeah,
I like the game. It's fun. I will play it. I'm just not good at it for some reason. So it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they did get OST on BGA.
Oh god, it's so good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but I got to play it a few more times before I'm gonna crown it the king. So yeah, we
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
get a few more plays in.
Yeah. So we're at 219.
Yep. So we'll do.
We're skipping this week in gaming, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
so
give you all 2 weeks worth of This Week in Gaming and then other geeky goodness, which is good because this week I think will be the final episode of 1923.
That's so bad.
I haven't started this season yet.
We are caught up and waiting.
Painful. It's painful.
And it's not that bad. It
It's
gets
like watching
better.
paint dry, man. Come on. Jesus.
What sucks is knowing that
I've
it's
seen the
end of
Amish moon
season,
faster than this season's doing.
knowing that it's the end of the season, like this is like knowing how far they haven't gotten.
Wait. There's one
Like-
more episode in the season?
Yeah. And so it's like, wait a minute, we're not even there. Like we're nowhere near. Like, how are you gonna wrap this up?
Oh my god.
Is there gonna be a
Rob,
third
Rob
season?
don't even
Don't even bother with it. Is that what you're telling me?
At the pace they're going, they need about 10 seasons before
more
they're
seasons
actually
to wrap
all back in fucking Colorado, Montana, whatever the hell they are.
bring
Jesus, man.
They
all the
gotta
storylines
establish
together,
how
yeah.
all these people were born. Like this is the
No,
histrionics
it's
of
bad. It's bad.
of rain
mean-
rainwater and
The show's entertaining, but gee, good lord, like you want to I thought 1887 was a little slow paced, but good lord, you want to talk about I think Harrison Ford's gonna die before they finish the next season.
That's rough.
Dude's not young, man. They gotta finish the season quick. It's bad. It is so I enjoy it, but oh my god, I watched the last episode. Honestly, Rob, the last episode I'm
you caught
watching
up?
it. I caught up. I'm all caught
Okay.
up. Last episode, I'm literally watching it, and I'm like, 10 seconds. I'm literally just
You're
clicking
skipping ahead?
skipping ahead because I'm just
you're
like,
wishing that it had a
like,
1.5
God.
button.
Yes, this show needs a 2.5, 2.0 speed because I'm just like,
By that, folks, we mean like a fast forward.
Fast forward. Yeah.
Like
Right.
a,
Oh
like
my
a
God.
speed, playback speed.
Yeah,
just
like-
a faster playback speed.
certain characters, each episode is like, okay, they're going to spend 10 minutes on this character, 10 minutes on that character, 10 minutes on that character. And there's several where I'm just like, the next character. Thank you.
Don't even care.
I mean,
we said we weren't doing OGG.
I know.
I was going
I
to say
know.
that. Apparently, we're doing
So
OGG.
You ruined it.
so-
You started. You brought it up, Carlos. Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. But no,
I'm
it's good.
totally fine with the OGG
Oh,
because
yeah? You got
I'm
things to
good
talk
too.
about?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm. What am I? I don't sleep anyway. But
No,
I like the
I'm
show.
enjoying
I
it.
want the show to be so. It could be so much better. That it is so painfully slow paced. It is just painful.
But part of the fun of this 1923, if you're a fan of the span, the
universe.
Wingspan?
Yeah,
Uh,
1883. yeah.
the Dutton universe
Oh,
or whatever you
okay.
want to call
Yeah,
it.
Got it.
Wifey bust out like the family trees that you can find online. So we're like, okay, who's that person
Oh.
and who begot whom? I feel like I'm reading like
Really?
Matthew,
They got
you know,
those
chapter
online?
1,
Yeah.
and so begot so and so and
Yeah.
begot so and so. So it's good enough to watch. Good enough.
It's good enough to watch. Painfully slow though. Good lord.
The other OGG thing I wanted to talk about because we're doing OGG is Andor season 2 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen,
I saw that.
anybody?
I saw you
Oh,
post
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
I watched it.
It's good. It's good. Can't wait.
I didn't
Love
finish
it.
season 1, so
Season
Oh,
one's so good.
what?
no. We got about halfway through
On
it, and we got
purpose?
sidetracked on other shows, and we never came back to it.
Sidetrack.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so it wasn't. Yeah, it's good. The last
Yeah,
episode.
we
is
planned to
like,
come back and watch it, although we
Yeah.
weren't halfway through. We weren't loving it. I mean, it's so
it's
much
very
story.
Did you get
slow.
to the
It is
prison?
slow.
Prison. I don't think so.
Oh my gosh,
Does it pick up
the,
at that
the
point?
labor prison,
Okay.
the characters that you
Um,
meet, like the characters you meet there.
So good.
Okay. We did. I think maybe one episode into that, maybe, because I do remember that. But
It's
And
just
then the end of it where you figure out like, so good. Yeah, it's good.
But it's got me, and my son told me, my oldest boy, he was the stuff that he was seeing, the actor,
Diego Luna.
yes, was saying how after you see season 2, you will immediately want to run out and watch Rogue One again because it's going to turn it on its head. It's going to give you so much different information. Then
Rogue
what
One is
you-
already my favorite Star Wars movie. so-
Right, it's already like
Second-
number 1
second,
for me.
Second favorite.
To what?
Well, I think. Well,
I mean, if you're gonna pick Star
New-
Wars
New Hope
movie,
or Empire Strikes Back. But yeah,
I think,
Rogue One is of
Empire
all the
Strikes
new
Back.
of all the post original 3 movies, like Rogue One is the best. Like
Yes.
Rogue One is phenomenal.
I think it's the one that engaged me the most.
Yes.
yeah.
So when my son told me about that it's going to give you more info, that it's going to make you rethink everything you saw, like in Rogue One the movie, I'm uber excited. You know, my understanding of the original plot of the film Rogue One, everybody was supposed to get out, like they were supposed to just get out of this planet, but the director asked permission, like, can we just kill them off here, like they sacrifice themselves, like make it, and that
Dirty Dozen. Star Wars Dirty Dozen.
oh yes, effectively, which really like connected me to the characters. So
Yeah.
Legend of Andor, that's a board game.
That's a board game. Back to board games.
Away from board games now. It's OGG time. Andor season 2 trailer rocks.
Excited.
We're still watching The Good American Family. It is still very creepy, and it's getting creepier. We're watching. My wife's already got a documentary lined up for that situation about that girl that was adopted from the Ukraine.
Oh, with the Ukrainian. Yeah.
Yeah, and, it was a girl adopted from the Ukraine under false papers. The family alleged that she was an adult pretending to be a child in order to get free medical surgeries. So like it's got me and my wife like going through all the stuff involved there. And then finally the biggest thing for me on the OGG this past week was the Dragon launch of the orbiters that are up there. I think it's a crew of 4.
The Polar Orbiter or whatever
Polar
they're called.
Orbiter,
Yeah.
they're calling it. I've watched launches before because we're here in Tampa, Florida. So we are on the west coast of the Florida Peninsula,
Not the Space Coast, but yeah.
America's pee-pee.
Yeah.
We're on the west coast of it. On the east coast is the Space Coast. We've been there many times.
Oh, yeah.
Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral area.
Mhm.
So we can see the launches when we face east.
Yep.
We can see at night. We can see the light, the rocket launch and the flames, right? But I think this is the first time they've ever launched and then turned, because usually they turn and go over the Atlantic, like over the
Right.
Jamaica.
Mhm.
This time, because they were going into a polar orbit, it actually flew over Florida, over South Florida in that direction. So normally, Robert, if you're facing out the back of my house in this direction, the front of my house, we normally look this way.
Okay.
And it goes that way.
Yeah.
This time it went up and then went that way, Robert.
Yeah.
It went over the preserve.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And so like I was looking at the back end of the rocket as it went, the bloom of the exhaust of the flames at night, like it looked like something out of Star Trek. Like
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't, my brain
Yeah.
could not comprehend it.
Yeah.
It looked so fake.
Oh yeah.
I was like, is that even real?
I've seen so many night launches that were cool, especially when they had the shuttles. The shuttles were so much bigger; they
They
required
had so much more
thrust.
flame.
Yeah, that was a big show. But yeah, I was well versed on this one. I told you I just completely forgot about it. I actually told my wife about 3 hours before the launch. I was like, "Hey, tonight's that launch that I want to watch." This is the first time in history anybody, not just an American, but anybody has flown a polar orbit. When they launch and they orbit the Earth, they usually go in an equatorial around that direction of the Earth. This is the first time a ship has ever gone over the poles, and so they're going over both Antarctica and then the North Pole. So they're doing, I think it's 4 days. They're going to orbit.
Loop it.
Yeah, they're going to loop it. They're taking a bunch of video for the first time ever of the North and the South Pole from space. They're going to get some high resolution stuff of the Aurora Borealis and the Northern Lights and the Southern Lights. So it's all kind of groundbreaking. Well, not groundbreaking, but new stuff that they've never done before. So because of that, like Carlos said, they have to change their launch angle. So usually they arc out, like you said, over the ocean. This time they had to arc in a completely different direction so that they could get on that polar orbit and go kind of the other way around the planet. So yeah, I completely planned to watch it, and we went out shopping, and we were probably in the Publix or whatever at the time that happened. And I just you messaged me, and I was like, "Hey, did you see that like 5 minutes ago?"
I can usually count on Rob.
Crap.
I come in and I text him. We chat a little bit about it.
Missed it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that's good stuff. I like watching those launches, and I got to get over.
And then the what do they call it? The separation.
Oh yeah,
Like you can. It was so cool.
First
Pablo
stage
in the
and
chat
second stage,
says, "Did you see the blue spiral?" He says some rockets release a blue spiral as they let out certain stages, and it looks cool. I don't recall the blue spiral. To me, it was. I can only describe it as like a flower. Like if you're looking into a flower and you see like different layers of flower coming at you, but it was all like blue plasma-y kind of Star Trek, like fake.
Yeah.
Like and I wanted to record it on my phone, but I hate doing that because then you really miss it. Like you don't
live in the moment. Don't live for the recording.
I didn't put it on my phone. I just stared at it for like a minute. Like that doesn't look real. That don't look real. Like this looks
sad.
fake.
I missed it.
I always say that you can find a video of it later online if you want. You just live in the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Live in the moment. Let somebody else record it. Dragon Launch. What made me want to play SETI?
Yeah,
made me
cool.
want to play
All
SETI.
right, well, let's get another launch so we can play SETI.
And I've been watching updates from the orbiters.
Oh yeah.
They've been posting videos. Spoiler alert: when they do the polar orbits, it's very white. There's a lot of white.
You think?
It's like Rob's house. It's just
Just
very,
white
very
everywhere,
white.
white
It's
everywhere.
just everywhere you look, there's white.
Damn.
That's a racial joke there, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Before we get cut off, I'll just real quick. My OGG, really liking Shadow and Bone. Me and the wife have been watching that.
Yeah, I watched that whole series. It was good.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the second season, and we're liking it a lot. So that's one we're really enjoying. It reminds me a lot of Wheel of Time. If you like Wheel of Time, there's kind of a sorcery.
Very Scythe-like too.
Yeah,
like the board game Scythe.
Right, kind of like that. That same. Got some modern technology, but some old stuff, and so that almost I don't want to call it steampunk, but it's got a kind of a different feeling to it. So yeah, really cool. Arcane, I mentioned before. My son had turned us onto that. It's an animated show. Ultra violent, in kind of a little wacky, a little crazy.
Isn't that League of Legends?
It is League of Legends.
Because that's that big video game, right?
Yep. That comes back to board gaming. They've got the Mechs versus Minions that I have owned forever, and
then they did the King's Tiles, the memory game that you loved so much.
Yeah, did not love that. But anyway, we're about halfway through second season of Arcane, and it's gotten really good. So me and my wife were okay on it at first. My oldest son really kept talking it up, and oh no, you got to stick with it. You got to watch the first 4 or 5, and he was right. Once we got through 4 or 5 of them, it's really good now. So
maybe get back to that. My kid and I started watching it, so we need to get back to that.
Yeah, it's good. And then I was just going to mention the guy's name. It's is it DZ or ZD?
ProZD or ProZD?
Yes.
He's going to be at Dice Tower East.
The deep voice guy.
He's going to be at Dice Tower East. He's going to do a show. He's going to do, I don't know if it's a top 10 list or a comedy show that he's going to do there. I didn't realize, I mentioned before Delicious in Dungeon. He's an anime voice artist.
Yep.
And he does one of the characters I didn't realize until just the other day.
I was just watching Delicious this past week.
So the little dwarf,
I still got to finish it.
Little dwarf that they run into.
That's
the
him?
armor, that's him. That's his voice. So he's got, he's
cool.
supposedly he's won several anime awards for his voice acting. But I started watching. I was subscribed to his channel on the YouTubes, and so I'm watching him do. He just did a review of 28 different styles of the Milano cookies, and then before that, he did Pop-Tarts. He had 29 or 26 different styles of Pop-Tarts and ranked them all. How he liked them. So yeah, he's funny. Watching him and tasting some of this stuff, and he gives you.
Probably gotta watch some of his videos before Dice Tower East.
That's what I started doing. I was like, I gotta watch some of this stuff in case I get a chance to talk to him or whatever. So I've been brushing up. So Yeah, looking forward to that. So that's
Delicious in Dungeon
Yeah.
is getting better.
Yeah.
I'm about like episode 9 now.
That's about where I stopped. So
That's on
yeah,
my
we haven't
list, yeah.
completed it, but yeah, it's good.
It's getting less and less of that
Weird.
weird anime like
Yeah.
laughing and loudness.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love when every time they cook something, like it pauses into this image of the dish and then explains like the items in the dish,
Right.
like an achievement.
Yeah, it is a cooking show
I
in
gotta watch
an
that.
anime, and it's funny. Actually, I was going to mention it last week. My youngest son, who's in middle school, he's in a culinary class right now, and his culinary teacher said next week they're going to start watching Delicious in Dungeon and then cooking a dish that's kind of loosely
Kinda
based
similar.
on what they do in the show.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah, so that should be fun. So I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
bringing it home.
Yeah, that's cool. That's on my list to watch. I have so I think I'm done with Severance, by the way. I've now tried to watch the first 2 episodes like 3 times and I just
Really?
keep losing. It just does. I know it's
Mike
a great
loves it. Mike's gonna hate that.
You'll mad at me next week, but I tried again. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm.
But Daredevil Rebirth is awesome. So good.
I got to start it. I haven't watched it yet.
So good. Vincent D'Onofrio is amazing as
Yes.
Kingpin.
Period.
And yeah, period. You get a little Punisher in here. It's so good.
And it's the Punisher from Walking Dead Punisher, right?
Yeah. John Blumenthal. Yeah, he's awesome. He's only in it, at least so far, he's only been in it like 5 minutes, but I think he's gonna come back because they have this like whole. Not gonna spoil anything, but you see some cops that have his tattoo, the Punisher tattoo. So they're clearly cops that think that they're beyond the law. But no, it's good. Charlie Cox is amazing as the Daredevil. Really enjoying it. And then I watched the first episode. Only the first episode's out yet, so I can't fully judge on it. But it's a Paramount Plus show, and the cast is amazing. First of all, directed by Guy Ritchie. I love Guy Ritchie. Love Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. So I love that. So it's Guy Ritchie, and it's got Pierce Brosnan from 1923 and
I
James
know
Bond.
the show.
And it's got Helen Mirren, who's also in 1923, and it's got Tom Hardy, and it's called Mobland. And
I should have
it's-
recognized that was a Guy Ritchie thing. That whole because they're
Yeah,
all, I
yeah.
think, all Irish or something.
Yeah, well, it's
Scottish.
English. Yeah, I'm actually gonna
English,
share my
yeah.
screen. I gotta play the trailer. Hopefully, you guys see the music. I'm gonna play it. It's a minute 33. You hear the music?
Conrad Harrigan.
Yes, I watch this. I watched my wife and I both watched this a few times.
My family.
It's on our list.
Well, you'd better pray.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
We shake the right hands, break the wrong ones.
I think we have a situation developing.
Been around.
We don't ask, we take. And when someone forgets their place, I've got a man for that.
Problem solved.
Pleased to meet you.
My wife's the brains behind the charm. She holds me together. That makes her the most dangerous of all.
The second you lose trust in me is the second this family turns to dust.
Hope you get my name.
So, are you with us or are you against us?
Ah, what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Mix it.
Because power is a hungry thing. And there's always a rat bastard looking to take what's mine.
What is this, in Taliban?
Oh, no. When combat gets going, I mean, like really going, you're gonna wish you was.
Nature of my game.
Mobland, new series.
Yeah.
You watched the first one? You said it's
Yeah, I watched the
going
first
good?
one. It was good. Yeah, I love Tom. Well, one, I love Tom Hardy. He's awesome, and he plays their fixer. Basically, he's like the family fixer, and it's good. I love Guy Ritchie too. So I mean, I think Pablo actually just said, yeah, The Gentleman's a great movie. My personal favorite is Snatch. You go watch Snatch a million times and find something better. It's such a good movie. So yeah, I watched the first episode last night. I stayed up way later than I should have watching it because I was like, I started it and I'm like, oh crap, it's like midnight. I guess I'm watching this now. So only one episode out. It was a good episode. I think the trailer shows way more that's going to happen in the season. So I'm excited. So that's my new My new love because
Your
Guy
thing?
Ritchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie's good stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Snatch or
Oh yeah.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
Yep.
Barrels and The Gentleman and those things. It's good stuff. So
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the film style that he does. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Good
that's
call
my
out,
geek.
good call
That's
out.
my I'm sure in VidAngel it's gonna be like a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, it's a little bit out. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just give me the good
Actually,
stuff.
well, there's no nudity in the first episode or anything like that. So
That's a
I
good
think
start.
Yeah,
Like,
violent.
Why do we have to? Why do we have to, folks? Tell a story without all that.
You don't have to, but
You don't have to.
yeah, it's
Depends on the
I want
story.
to check out Gangs of London TV show.
Guy
Oh,
Ritchie, yeah.
Jesus. Check out Gangs of London TV show if you haven't. Not Guy Ritchie, but awesome show and action.
okay.
Yeah, there's another show on
Follow.
Netflix too that was really interesting. I did. Speaking of Guy Ritchie, I did just watch The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Behavior or whatever. That's a World War II movie about the group of guys that basically gave Ian Fleming the idea for 007. Have you not seen that?
Nope.
The
Not even familiar with
Ministry
this.
of Gentlemanly Warfare. Oh, it's great cast. It's got the guy from Reacher. It's got Superman in it. A couple
Whoa.
other people.
What's
it's-
streaming services is this one?
Netflix?
I don't know.
Like,
Is it?
Did you
That's a
say?
good
I don't know.
Question.
Okay, we'll look it up.
Yeah, it's called the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's just this fun little movie where it's good, but it. It's another Guy Ritchie movie. So if you like Guy Ritchie movie stuff, that's a good one. It's fun. It's just a good popcorn movie, and like basically Ian Fleming is a secondary character. He kind of works for the British government, and all these characters are real life people, and like it's based on a real life group of people who fought in World War II and were kind of like behind the scenes, spies that did some fun stuff. So it's a good movie.
They also announced The Accountant 2.
Oh, so good. That trailer looks
I-
amazing. I love The Accountant. That's a great
Bobby,
movie.
we need to watch The Accountant. I'm like, yes, we
Yeah.
do. If you haven't watched it yet, yes, we do.
Yeah,
And so there'll be part 2 coming out.
The Accountant's a good movie. I enjoyed that. So
All right, fellas.
Anyway.
We went long.
A little bit.
All right.
3 hours.
Wow, that was a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah.
well,
Our
you
top
had
20
me.
list.
I took a long time tonight.
We did our
apologize.
top 20. We had a couple of great phone calls, three great phone
Great
calls.
phone calls. Yeah.
Thank you, folks, for participating in the chat. Be sure to check out the Discord. Email us with any comments, questions, thoughts on beansanddice@gmail.com. Make sure you hit subscribe and like on YouTube so others can find us. The more you do that, the more you comment, the more you hit like, the more you subscribe, the more other people learn about what we do here. And if you really appreciate what we do and you want to support our habit of buying games, make sure you donate on PayPal at Beans and Dice, Venmo at Beans and Dice, Cash App under Beans and Dice, and then YouTube, you can super chat right there. That's it. I've been one of your hosts blathering about nonsense. Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Join us next week for Give It the Beans, Finspan.
Finspan.